every 2 weeks. Gertie, it's not personal. You schedule more appointments. I don't know what to tell you. Give you the friends and family discount. That is such a breach of the ethics of... Anyways.
Yep.
Hello, fellow travelers. Welcome to this session for yegVMP with Novice DMing. I am your Dungeon Master, Liam McKinnon, and I am joined here by our wonderful vampire folks. We have over here,
Sami Silver.
We have
Kordell, Brons.
And
Monika, Gunn.
fantastic. For those of you who are tuning in, hello! It's good to have you all here with us. We're very excited to be playing this yegVMP session on Treaty 6 territory. We are very happy to be sharing our stories with all of you, and we hope that you all have a great time at home. If you guys are wondering, what the heck is this energy? There's going to be a special video I'm going to be releasing that will give you context as to why I want to get moving here, because we have talked a lot already. The sun was out before.
2.5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry, the video before is maybe an hour. I checked. We were not recording. That was not a 2-hour conversation. But it's very good. And I can't
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. There's opinions in it, so you're gonna like it. You're gonna
take it. You're gonna like it.
You're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. You're gonna like it.
I'm scared.
You don't have to like it.
You don't have to.
Therapist.
In the video itself, we talked about everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Exactly, that's the
Don't
important
have to
thing.
like it.
You guys are gonna
my
love
opinion
this.
is right.
You're gonna love this future video that isn't out. So you're gonna love that there's no context for this for at least a week. I work 4 days for my day job. It's gonna come out later.
That's what she said.
I'm coming.
I'm sorry, I'll see myself out.
What? Okay, I got. Anyway, so things going on right now. The event that I'm going to be professionally DMing for the Waffle Bird is coming up on April 11th. If any of you are in the Edmonton area and want to participate in a 4-hour game like D&D session where it's themed to be like a Top Chef competition, feel free to check out the Waffle Bird's website. I think it's just wafflebird.ca. They'll be able to get you tickets for that. I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be great. And we got 2 prizes lined up. Right now, I'm gonna be giving a free kind of like education service through my company, whether that is like people want to learn about dungeon mastering, people want to learn about playing stuff, like being players, and just want to learn about constructing campaigns and characters, and maybe even figure out how to structure a session 0. Kordell rolled a die to see how cool it was. How cool was it?
Mid.
Great.
It was a perfect 5 out of 10.
And how was yours, Monika? What is that? What is that?
It was a good one.
Oh, good. It's a success.
Yeah.
Great.
Success, but
That you need to tell me that because I cannot see the dice from here.
Sword with stars.
Yeah, sword with stars?
No, actually, this one.
Yeah.
Oh, great. It was a critical success on a hunger die.
Yeah.
See, unless there were 2 of those, it would not be bestial failure or bestial messy critical.
And
That's
you
great.
can learn that with the prize of Liam.
Yeah, you could learn how scary that was, which is wonderful. Another gift is going to be potentially, Sorry Not Sorry is going to be giving away some tickets to our upcoming YEG D&D show that's happening on April 26th, which I'm going to be dungeon mastering for everyone. It's been almost a year since I did it, and I've been missing it. I'm excited to be able to be improvising with the wonderful cast of that show. And yeah, I can't wait to be leading an adventure again for that company. It's so fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And aside from that, I really don't have any other things I want to get going into this. So I do have to ask you guys, as always, checking in with any questions you have beforehand.
Can we start a petition to have Monika change her last name to Gold? So that we have gold, silver, bronze.
It's very important.
Whoa. Wait,
Did you also notice that today? Yeah.
I noticed it last week and I was
Okay.
going to say something, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And then it came
your
up.
guys' last name is Silver and Brons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sami Silver,
Sami
Kordell,
Silver.
Bronze.
Yeah.
Oh, but my last name's Gunn.
Golden Gun, like James
Golden
Bond.
Eye.
What's your middle name?
Elizabeth and Nicole. So actually, my name spells out Mean G. didn't find out till later. She's pissed when my dad put
Do you
Nicole
really
there.
want her to
You
change?
are one mean G.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yo.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know if you guys have any questions after that. That's-
Now it's gonna be really hard to get that petition started.
But, like,
I was just gonna
no,
say
it's-
I'm not the
but
legal
thing is-
representative
But the
representative
thing
for
is,
that.
I'd still be mean G because I would be gold.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, why can't you do that?
I don't know. I guess I could.
You just like guns? Is that?
Excuse me, all handsome individuals out there.
Last
if
name
your
Gold.
last name Gold.
All you handsome individuals out
If
there.
you're
All you
ace, you're
handsome Trump.
Goldie Ace. I know it's Portgas, but like like before, because.
Hey, what's
Goldie
up?
Roger, what's up?
What's up, all you travelers? Welcome to the tavern. We looking for gold around here. Yeah, please.
I'm
Thank you
just-
very much.
Literally, like One Piece. Wait, Goldie Ace used to be Port, but you get what I'm saying.
If you got the gold, there's a gun waiting for you.
Just,
Woo! Hello, put that on a t-shirt.
Hell yes. Wow. Okay. Woo!
the
Spicy.
ADHD is
We
through
have
the roof
a
today.
today.
Yeah, I forgot to take my meds, so I'm.
I'm not even on meds. So.
I'm having just high quality H2O here.
Oh, and I got 8 hours of sleep, which never happens. I usually get like 2 to 3, so I.
Hence why we're starting this 2 hours later.
Yeah, I'm literally like so loopy today. Weirdly
It's
enough.
so good.
Okay, well, but the thing is you said we got to start with like a new goal, like a desire, or like.
We're gonna talk about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be the startup for the
'Cause I
actual
have
thing.
a question.
Unless people want to do that before we dive in, you know what? That actually might be a good thing. We can actually establish if
Did
anybody has any
I-
desires.
Because my
Yeah.
thing was keeping the home safe, I think. Something like that. One
Yes.
second, I wrote it down. But since we ended the session
Yes.
with them shooting through the door
Yes.
and injuring one of my people,
Yes.
does that mean I didn't succeed?
That means you have not succeeded in your
I
desire.
fucking knew it, and I knew you'd do that shit to me. I
Yeah.
was literally
That
5
means that the
seconds of
desire
content
has
gone.
not succeeded. It doesn't mean you can't not keep it going.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, maybe
got a
you
second.
could, except you, as we established also, you have failed your humanity to be able to wake up to keep the home safe, so this desire could stand unless you want to change it. You are welcome to change
No,
it.
there's
if you
no
want.
way I'm capable in that fucking home.
Okay,
safe. I'm like,
fantastic.
everybody, it already failed before I even fucking started this session, which is bullshit.
So, with that being in mind, I think that might be a good thing. First
Now
of
I gotta
all,
think of another design.
everybody gets an experience point from the last session. I don't know if anybody did
nice.
that. Because
I
yeah,
did it.
at the end of every session, you get an experience point, and you can be able to apply that to
Did
like,
I
skills.
apply my other ones? What are we at, guys? Experience points before?
21.
21?
Some of you may spend some though.
Yeah, I think I did.
Total of 21.
Because I was at 3. Yeah, I think okay, yeah, and then.
Yeah.
4. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause-
total. Yeah, total, and then
Yeah.
spent.
'Cause I have a total and a spent thing, so I 21 total, but I spent 18.
You have 21 XP,
But no, then he spent 18 already.
Yeah, but I spent 18 of it.
so that means you have 3.
Yeah, 3.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Within you that I could use.
I
forgot
see.
I
That's
forgot
good to know.
about
That's
that.
good.
I
I was
forgot
like,
to
how
write what
how
my
many games
spend
have you been playing
was.
behind my back with Declan?
This entire time.
That's why he's good at investigation.
Yeah,
He's-
it's not even vampire. It's just doing detective work.
yeah, you're just doing it on the sly.
Getting extra points. Yeah, I forgot to rate what my spend was. I'm at 4. Just kidding. Done
Yeah.
it.
Same. I keep a tally because that's easier than writing a number and erasing it. Tally marks.
So with all of that in mind, for
Big
everybody that's here, desires. Do we want to have any new ones for ourselves?
I'm trying to think.
Did Declan mention anything to? Because I know he and Penny talked about Elysium.
Mm-hmm.
Did you mention anything about Leo to
I
Penny?
think I don't know if I mentioned his specific
No.
name,
Okay.
but I think I mentioned that that someone had shown up talking about Elysium.
Okay.
And yeah, but I didn't actually specify that it was a dude named Leo, and that's how I just was like, hey, heard about this, what do you know about it, kind of
Cool.
situation. So you know someone mentioned it, you don't know who mentioned it yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So anybody have any desires they want to rattle off right now?
I kind of want to just tweak mine.
Sure.
My old one is just the desire is to instead of to keep it safe is to protect it. Just protect.
Okay. Gertie wants
Doesn't
to
mean
protect the home.
Doesn't mean I have to do a good job at it. It just means that if I'm awake, I'm not gonna run like a little bitch because that's not who I am.
Got you. Okay, that's what you want to be aiming for as your desire. Fantastic. Anybody else? I'm looking at two people.
I'm continuing a project
Yes.
that I established in a previous episode.
The first session.
Yes, the very first session.
Very good project.
That we recorded.
Writing a book.
Writing a book.
Writing a book.
Compiling research
Knowledge.
about the Kindred psyche. Can you teach a dead dog new tricks? By Dr. Penny Potts.
Oh, yes.
LISC.
Uh-huh.
Which is like a PhD, but specifically for internal family systems therapy.
For LISC, you said?
LISC?
Is that what you said? What was it? What was the actual family system thing? Because that was important for me to know.
LSD.
LICSW, I think. I'd have to check. I knew it, and then there was a tension on me, and then I forgot.
So sorry. Yeah, you know what? That's what the sniping's for.
Wow.
I was like, that's important, but I'm also getting distracted because of this very cool thing I decided to do. But it was actually helping people's mind. So you know what? We're just going to play the session the entire time where I'm just doing this.
Snapping the whole time.
So bullets are going off through the clubhouse, everyone. We're having a good time.
Oh.
Don't look at me like that, please.
Yes,
Don't look-
LICSW,
don't.
which is for licensed therapists.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, licensed by the.
So what is your desire then?
So I think my desire is to study more about Kindred and compile more notes and things. And I think for this time specifically, I think maybe Penny has decided that she wants to make some new friends, get to know some new vampires, or get to know other vampires better, because she sort of realized a couple weeks ago when they went to a concert in Red Deer, she's been kind of isolating herself from Kindred, and it's, because there may or may not be someone who wants her dead for reasons.
So do you want to make your desire? You want to make a friend?
Yeah, I think maybe she wants to make a friend.
Cool.
Yeah. Vampire friends.
Wonderful.
'Cause her friends.
Is she gonna be a bike instructor? Like the
Yeah.
Fantastic.
big class
Yeah.
teacher, yeah.
Yeah. Spilates.
Pilates, yeah.
Cycle Pilates.
And Declan, do you have any?
Yeah, I think the only thing I was really thinking of, I was between a couple, but I think the one is that I want to look into different options for vampire proofing a home.
Okay. Got you.
Put garlic in it.
They only work for some vampires.
You go to Elysium and you do a favor for a guy to get some stuff.
I love doing a favor for
It's known as a
What is happening?
boon.
Yeah, it's a boon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You don't have to do this all the time. What's happening?
they're my bunny ears. It's fun.
Yeah,
Don't worry
just-
about it.
Rabbit.
I don't worry about it. It's on this channel. You goddamn better believe I'm gonna worry about it. I worry about everything.
Gotta be careful. He can actually look back now and see what he said.
I'm going to turn the audio up for this section and be like, what was that? And then you see me mute like Liam's engaging in censorship. Yeah, it's just a bunch of oh god. Beep boop. Beep boop. And with that all in mind, then, with those desires established, I think it's time for us to dive into this session for yegVMP. When last we left off with our kindred in the great city of Edmonton, we had plunged headfirst into the beginnings of a very intriguing scenario. We had opened with a scene of fire off somewhere far beyond in the grasslands of Alberta, but that's not currently going on. It was more to set up kind of an aesthetic and themes, if we will. But I love describing the thing that I introduced, because I'm like, it couldn't stand alone. I must say it. What we were focusing on was going to the Drive and Dive, a wonderful little establishment, a little restaurant right outside of Edmonton that is owned by the wonderful Patty, the leader of a Kindred biker gang called the Collar. This is a gang that has basically had an establishment. They have this restaurant. They have a chop shop where they use some of their wits and wiles to be able to cut apart in their tool crafting, to be able to cut apart vehicles and resell them to be able to help fund their enterprise. And then they have themselves their clubhouse where at this moment we were focusing on Gertie as you were having a kind of a forced meeting to talk with this kindred by the name of Leo. Leonidas, a man who you had met before and kind of like was stalking you out, and you never knew that he knew anything about you, but then you find out that he actually knows something about you, and with his kind of like hired men, visited your restaurant to speak with you and make a proposition for you to attend a meeting of sorts that you didn't know necessarily anything about. You were pretty drunk at this point. Very impressive for a vampire to make themselves drunk after drinking 5 bottles of just blood-laced liquor, tequila, and vodka. It was crazy.
I like to have a good time.
And you're like... That's a good time you had. You had Jack and Jill, your guys' guard dogs, come up with you. Lux as well. Cooper giving you guys kind of support. And Declan, who was watching as well. Leo had given you a business card and then had been driven off, saying that, if you want to get in contact, he'll give you a check. And, you'll be able to go into this whole process. You were unable to articulate very well exactly what it was that you were invited to, but at a certain point, people started to decipher it, and the individuals both at the Collar with Lux and Patty Patty actually found out that you were talking about Elysium, and so did Declan. Declan found out about Elysium as well.
I found out, and I made sure that Patty could find out.
Yeah, exactly. And with this, a big concern kind of happened, and she said, like, we will have a conversation about this. We don't want you just to go off and pursue this on your own. We want to actually talk about this.
I don't know why, but sure.
And then with that, your day kind of came to an end. Declan, you with your day were still kind of like hanging out at the Drive and Dive, but you also wanted to check in on your daughter, Cassandra, Cass, and make sure she was doing okay. But surprisingly, you didn't get any response throughout the day. You had staked out, watched her place, and you did see that she was home late. But she didn't text you back even to that point of the day, and you then drove home because you also got a call from someone by the name of Arnold. I have his name right here. Yeah, Arnold. Come to me, Arnold Martin, who had spoken to you about discussing something, but he didn't want to talk about it over the phone, like this actual job he wants to have a private investigator for. And with that, you went to sleep. And then we had the wonderful Penny Constance Potts. You were basically at your home, your very haunted, very lavish, entire like a suburban mansion. Where you basically were getting the groundwork started on a brand new project, which if you got a D10 for yourself, you can set up at the number 9, which I can see you actually do, which is fantastic. That is wonderful. The project being that you are writing a book, and you are writing it to be like a focus on kindred life and trying to understand like the intricacies of it and present that intricacy to the world. And you got a phone call from your longtime friend and colleague, Colin Baines, who was just kind of talking to you about like kind of some tensions, like a little bit at the home. Like you can kind of feel it, but just wanted to check in, see how you were doing, and was really wanting to kind of know your business, and then also maybe arranging for you to like spend more time with the kids, because you did a really great job taking care of. Auntie Penny was able to do a really good job when it came to taking care of his adopted son Tanner. I don't know. I'm trying to remember if there was anything major off of that, but I don't think there was anything else that was a major subject. But yes, and that's where we all kind of were at. You all then had gone to sleep, and with our awakenings, You two, and for those of them who are not aware, the reason that we have awakening checks for basically you guys constantly is because you two work regular day jobs, and you two have to be able to go off constantly to be able to do your work. This is also, I will say, the second time you guys have rolled phenomenally well on here. It's getting kind of to the point where it's like, I don't know if we're going to have these kinds of checks specifically for you when it comes to like the day-to-day operating. You, however...
Fuck. What about me? Why can't I get the same privilege? You, however, we had you roll this time, Gertie, but for a very... I did okay.
Interesting set of circumstances. Hey, 2 successes, unfortunately, is still a failure. And the reason we had you roll was because something is happening to your clubhouse at this very moment.
Bullshit.
Gunshots are ripping through the walls of the clubhouse. Cooper has been clipped, and that is where we're going to start. Now, before we actually dive into this moment, I am going to roll something at the very top of this. I'm going to take 7 dice, and I'm going to roll a check for one in particular person, because you guys are going to be... Basically what's happening here is you are not going to be present for anything that happens here. You are asleep.
Some bullshit.
This is like almost the nightmare of any vampire, and it's like if this was like happening to you alone, it would be very bad because you are incapacitated. A vampire that is not able to awaken, their blood is inert. It needs to rest from its actual process. That is what allows a vampire to awaken. When they do awaken this early, their blood bubbles to the surface. It's the balancing act of like, you know, yes, you would be able to wake up, but high pressure circumstances can be really a lot, and you can be more prone to frenzies in this moment. It can be a lot. If you're not trained in it, you yourself are not usually trained in these moments. But there are a lot of people inside of the clubhouse right now. We will roll to see who all is here, but for right now, I'm going to roll a very specific check. I'm just going to let you know, if this check does not succeed, this is going to be a much worser situation.
Holy fuck.
I am rolling, and I will tell you what I'm rolling for. I am rolling for the awakening check of Lux right now.
Come on, Luxy, baby. We may not see eye to eye, but you're still the daddy of the group. Let's go.
1, 2 successes. He is unfortunately not awake.
Lux, buddy!
So,
Can he's like...
You cannot, unfortunately, re-roll a humanity check. No. So, unfortunately, Lux is not going to be awake.
Go, you whore.
With that...
She doesn't even go here.
With that, we come in.
Is it Wednesday?
Boom, boom, boom! Phew, phew, ripping through the walls. Gunshots, sounds of shotguns, rifles, pistols, revolvers are cutting through the walls of this of the clubhouse right now, coming through the caller's den, and it's coming out through, and it's basically coming on the eastern side of the wall. Cooper was hit with a bullet that cut through his hand, like fell back in pain. Not from that, however, from a single beating, piercing dot of sunlight that was coming through and hit him. And basically, he's now hiding behind a couch that is currently, like, leather-bound couch that is getting ripped apart by bullets and pellets. Like, he is diving as this thing is cutting through.
Cooper, nobody.
As sound of gunshot comes through, boom, boom, boom. Like, it is like every single shot, while not automatic weapons, is hitting at a fast rate. Now what we're going to do here is I am going to have you guys help me on some rolls. We're going to roll D10s on this just to see who all, members of the caller, to see who all is present. The ones we do know, obviously, were Lux. We also knew that Patty is here as well. The other people we established was Dole, Price, and Cooper is obviously here, as well as Beverly. We're going to roll right now for the other members that might not be here. So we're going to roll for first Ivy. If somebody wants to roll a D10, it's just a 6 or higher to see if Ivy is present.
Can I roll my other dice like this, or do you want actual...
Oh, I just want somebody to roll a D10 to let me know if they are present. Anybody to let me know.
That's a 10.
Okay, Ivy is present.
This is why I have have them here.
Okay.
I also play a game, but
Now we're gonna roll for another one. This is gonna be Deacon. Deacon is Deacon present?
6.
That Deacon is present.
Oh my god.
Okay. Wonderful.
I didn't out on rolling anything.
Gertie is present as well. Unfortunately, you're not there. You're asleep. Price will roll for a wake up. We're gonna now roll for Roman. We're gonna see if Roman is here.
Roman.
Yes.
Roman. It's an 8.
That's an 8. Roman. Oh, okay. Roman is in. That's actually not that bad. Okay, we did roll for Lux. Lux is here, but he's asleep. We're gonna roll for Beverly now. Oh, Beverly's
10.
here. Okay, 10. So actually, Beverly is actually present. That's gonna then go over to the last member, which is Nelson. Okay. Nelson is here, which literally means.
Yay.
This literally means every single member of the collar is awake, or not awake, but here. So that's actually great. Now we're gonna
Could
roll.
Be good, could be awful.
Oh, we are gonna find.
We're gonna roll humanity checks for every one of them to see that they're awake. I'm gonna have you roll for Patty. That's 9 dice.
We just roll for the 2 that we roll for.
You know what? Yeah, go ahead. Roll for Ivy.
Okay.
It's 9 dice. Is there any?
Ivy got a 9.
It's just you have to roll. You have to roll 7 dice for all these people.
7.
Do I
7
use
dice.
any hunger dice?
Hunger dice don't matter for this.
Okay,
I'm gonna roll for Dole.
Patty.
Dole is one of the other members. Dole. Oh yeah, Dole's all kinds of awake.
Nelson.
Got it. Dole's awake.
I got a 4.
Okay, Patty's awake.
Ivy is hella awake and she got 2 10s.
Yeah, she fucking did.
She got 2 10s, so she got 4, and then a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, she got 8, 8, 8, 8.
Oh, she's fucking
10,
lit.
10, 7.
Ivy's lit.
She's fucking having a
Hell.
good time.
It's Nelson
Yeah.
got a 5,
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, 3, 10, 10.
So 4, right? Or
Yeah, he's awake. That
he's barely awake.
that is-
the double 10.
Can I say
with
with Lux not being awake, Nelson is the second best choice to have awake in this moment.
but
He's good to have.
He's rubbing his eyes right now, but he's looking.
Lux Nelson is a large, heavy set man. He's made tea and he wakes up. He's just like, oh, what the fuck? And he just kind of rolls survivalist kind of shit because he's grew up as a hunter basically. He's on his feet fucking go. He's just crawling as bullets are ripping through his bedroom fuck, and then he barrels out. Okay, so we got Deacon, Roman, and then Patty woke up as well.
Yes, Patty.
Okay, so
Lead the troops.
Deacon, who'd you roll for?
Oh, okay.
You roll for Ivy.
Ivy, and then rolling for Roman.
Okay, please
Oh,
do.
yes.
Okay, Roman got.
Any one for Deacon, you said?
Deacon, yeah.
Okay, that's a success. That's a success.
Deacon got 3 successes.
That's enough.
Okay, Roman got 2 successes.
Okay.
Is a 6 a success?
Yes, it is.
Okay, he got 3 successes. Roman got 3
Hell yeah.
successes.
Wow. Okay.
He
Everybody is getting up.
See, if we
Did
help
get a
roll for
1.
your
Yeah,
crew, then it's
I'm
good.
like, that's why when I was like,
Hey, hunger's dice don't matter for this. It's literally just trying to see.
Thank you guys. You guys know my rolls are shit. I would
Beverly is also up. Beverly is up. Everyone else is awake. Roll for Price for me, please. He only gets 3.
Did Beverly?
He only gets 3 dice.
3 dice. Yeah.
Did Beverly?
Or
wake,
sorry, 7. He's not that bad in humanity.
Did Beverly wake up on the pool table again?
I'm gonna roll.
Holy shit!
I'm gonna roll a room.
2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's up.
11 successes.
Actually, wait, no. I have 4 of the double. What? That one. That
Oh,
one. That
so
one,
that
one.
so yeah, so
how
4
many is that?
critical successes. That's 4,
8.
8.
Why can't I roll like this
That's
more?
8 successes.
Oh, and then so 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 11.
Yeah.
11.
Yeah, 11.
So
Price is like-
Price was laying.
He was
and just
about
did
to-
Did the clever member
Yeah, exactly. He's not a Nosferatu, but he is an animalism, kind of caitiff. He's a caitiff. Okay,
Why
so
can't I roll like that? Jesus.
we're gonna this is a roll for Beverly to see which room she's in. Let's see. There's the clubhouse main room. There's the bar. There's the armory. There's her own bedroom. There's literally the space where you guys conduct meetings and shit. Yeah. Let's and then there's the hallway and let's just see.
Where Patty is?
She went in at drunk and fell asleep in the space
Beverly?
where you guys do business.
Yeah.
Oh.
Your guys' clubhouse, where you guys got a giant collar, where you guys do
Yeah.
your actual processing votes and everything. She's asleep in there. So she wakes up oh, okay. So
Oh my god.
the only people that are not awake are you and Lux. That means that everyone else wakes
Fucking
up
out.
at this moment, and
Because it'll
they
all be
with the sound of bullets coming through. and seeing it, like Patty gets up and Price is rushing out through there, as well as like everybody's getting at this point, but Price goes over and like he kind of like goes dog mode, like kind of immediately goes in and starts like crawling over to get to Cooper, making sure that Cooper can get coverage, and like he's actually seeing the sunlight come through, and essentially Price has to like find a way to maneuver and get there, and he does. Beverly, Dole, and Roman get up, and the two like all of them. Dole comes in. He's a very strong black man who runs in and like getting on his cut, but immediately rushes over to the armory. He goes over to one of them and just starts like immediately pumping in like the buttons for the code and starts handing over like shotguns and pistols. Like he's just making sure everyone is ready to start shooting. Roman is also kind of like in this like kind of like Night Stalker thing. He kind of has this uneasy edge about him, but he's just very much like calculating and trying to find everything that's going through. He's like massively like scarred across his eyes, like those are his eyes, so when the sun is coming through, like he's already got like sun visors like over top of his eyes, but like he's got these like pulling back like kind of tears on his eyes that are exposed. So he moves in, takes a shotgun, and just kind of like poses up underneath the bar. Currently everything is blowing up around him. Everything that's going on, like yeah, Ivy, Deacon, Beverly, everyone is starting to show up, and Patty is coming down the steps to kind of case in and see what's going on. There's a moment when Dole is just kind of like halfway across the hallway. He throws a like pistol that spirals over. Patty takes it, cocks it back, and just kind of like poses up like a side. She poses up on one side,
Yeah, she does.
and like just getting it set. And then actually she takes it, clicks it, watches to see if there's an opening, tosses it on forward to Price, who's like keeping Cooper cover. He catches it while he's just down, like making sure he's just like over top of his body, and starts shooting up over top of the actual couch itself. There is a moment where everyone is just kind of like together, and Patty's just like, everyone get to cover, make sure, okay, what, like, and the bullets are whizzing through. There's a moment where she looks around and it's like, what the fuck is Lux? Nelson, Gertie. They're trying to call out, but like they're not sure what's going on. I'm gonna roll a d10 here. Well, I didn't roll a tremendously huge success for it came to their own gunfire. They're just kind of spraying into a solid place. However, I'm going to roll 2 d10 here. This is going to represent what is destroyed in terms of the house. This is very important because they've been just firing and you guys have been getting set.
Not the alcohol. Why is the rum gone? Please don't say the rum gone.
So there's a lot of things that can be destroyed. The alcohol, that can definitely be, there's a lot of it, but we can see how much of the supply will actually be destroyed. Your guys' blood refrigerator is the one thing you really don't want to have be destroyed. That is something that can very much happen.
I will sip it off the straw. Off the floor.
The regular main kind of clubhouse can be destroyed. I'm also going to be I am going to be rolling for the chop shop here.
Our bikes.
And I'm going to be rolling also for the restaurant. This is going to be deciding like what their main intention is. The clubhouse is the main thing, but we're going to find out exactly. So I'm going to just do it basically like 1 and 2, chop shop. 3 and 4 is going to then be the restaurant. 5 and 6 is going to be your guys' bar supply. 7 and 8 is going to be like how bad the actual kind of main living space is going to be, because it does also in direct sunlight. 9 and 10 is the fridge. So I'm going to roll first one. Okay. You know what? I'll roll in front for you guys.
Ooh. Do we have a...
That's a 6. That is your guys'...
I don't remember.
I think that was the bar supply.
Yeah, bar supply, yeah.
So yeah, you guys' bar, toast. Alcohol is flying everywhere. Like Roman is like underneath the bar and just getting showered in like vodka and shit. But like it's like rolling off of his sunglasses, so he's like not affected by it. It's just like a bunch of glass and stuff like hitting him and like peeling off, and you just see him ready. Last one, I moved this away because I wasn't sure, but let's actually see. And that's a 6. So the bar is just decimated.
So everything
All
else is
the
great,
alcohol is
but the
gone.
alcohol-
So yeah. So like the bullets are whizzing, but it's like every time they're just like cutting through and more alcohol showering on top of Roman. So he's just sitting there.
He's getting a bath.
Yeah, he's just like getting covered in whiskey. With that being in mind, that does then give Nelson a chance to come through. Nelson, again, crawling through, goes to the second armory. And this is very important because him and Lux are the only two who are trained not just in like firearms and stuff, but like special firearms, the kind of shit that nobody else has much of a skill on. What Nelson does is he goes into the second safe, he punches in a code, he unlocks the safe and opens up the door. As he opens up the door, it's mainly filled with kind of like hunting equipment kind of. It's like, you know, specialty like 22s, like lower caliber stuff, not stuff that people would go for. But there's one weapon in particular. He grabs a muzzle loader, a long rifle that basically he starts pulling up and putting black powder inside of it. He starts loading it up, priming it, prepping it inside of the armory where like no bullets are really going through. He gets a musket ball that is essentially a 50 caliber shot. He puts it into the barrel and starts loading it up. As this is happening, I'm going to be rolling checks. Now, I haven't rolled rouse checks. I'm just going to do a general one for your entire team. That's a 7. Nobody has been stirred in terms of their blood increase. Everybody is pretty hungry. So, yeah. So basically, I'm going to roll a firearms check for the entire squad here. There's a lot of dice that I'm rolling just for them. This is going to be giving kind of like a cover shot, like kind of like firing off. That's 0 successes.
What?
0 successes. Nothing.
I call bullshit.
Is why Sami and I should be the ones rolling for your crew.
I know. I want them rolling for me now.
They are fire. Your crew is firing basically, and as they're just they're just firing through the wall. But they are also. There's a moment when they actually stop, and Patty tells them, "Wait, stop!" and calls out to everyone to cease firing. Because the more holes that are coming through, the sun is coming out more, and more points of sunlight are coming through. It's like a laser kind of like thing where it's like all these like points of like sunlight are coming through, and she just kind of like holds back and just has to have to kind of just take it. There's a moment though where, as the guns are going out, you start to hear gunshots from outside, and starts to kind of divert a little bit of the attention. It sounds like people at the chop shop are beginning to pick up guns and shoot.
They're human, some of them.
Yeah.
Buddies, no.
So this is what happens next. As kind of that divergent happens, Nelson comes up with a muzzle loader. He goes near the front entrance door, sets up and is getting Roman comes up with a shotgun like covered in glass and alcohol. He slowly walks up, and without even talking, like him and Nelson, like they're part of the nomads together. They both center themselves, squat down. Roman gets his hand on the actual doorknob. Nelson is ready to fire. This is going to just be one last roll, and it's going to
Sammy to roll it.
Sammy to roll it? Okay, I will roll then for adversaries. So here's what you're going to roll then. You're going to roll, this is going to be Nelson's roll for firearms.
Okay.
So it's going to basically be a resolve and a firearms roll with him, specifically when it comes to this particular rifle. He is going to be rolling 8 dice. But he's rolling 1 hunger die as well with this. For the people outside, I'm rolling 4 dice.
Okay.
Come on, Sammy.
I'll tell you what you need to beat. You need to beat 3.
Come on, Sammy.
Okay, hunger dice is a 2. We've got a 10, an 8, a 9,
3.
a 7, a 4, and a 3.
So she got 4.
So you got 4 successes.
4 successes, and
So
1 is a 10.
You beat it by 1, and I'm going to let you know that the damage output basically for this particular gun is the equivalent of a heavy sniper rifle, basically, which is 4 damage. Nice. So it's 5 points of damage, which is essentially all you needed to do was get 1 above, because it's going to kill one of the people that's firing.
Ha!
Here's what happens. Roman opens up the door, starts firing off the shotgun, just like to kind of give a little bit of like kind of like cover so that Nelson can turn around with this muzzle loader, and then boom, and it's like black powder shoots out the door. It basically fills up the door frame. There's one, and what they see is like motorcycle people with their visors down, like firing off towards these towards the chop shop people who are like just loaded up with 22s, like very small handguns, just giving some kind of protection. There is one biker who's like posted up on his motorcycle, and this muzzleloader fires right through the side of his helmet, you just the glass and like kind of the actual like kind of plastic, the plastic made of the actual helmet explodes fully outside. Like it's just a spray of pink, black, scattered just glass, and it flies, and it's the force of the shot causes him to fall up on his motorcycle. Like the motorcycle crushes this person as well.
Huh.
With that, the muzzleloader goes off, and like basically Nelson puts it down and just starts going then with a regular handgun and just starts firing as every one of the bikers basically just like books it at that point. Like when you see a cannon be pulled up into this, you're gone. And the rest of them are able to boogie. They just basically get on their bikes and...
Does any of them get injured from the chop shop in Nelson?
No, because the chop shop was basically giving them my diversion basically on that. It was a 3. The chop shop is not very efficient when it comes to guns.
Yeah, but did they shoot like a tire? Pop a tire?
Do you want me to roll 3 dice?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm going to roll 3 dice because you want me to.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they're version, but they
It's
still...
1, 2 successes. They fail by 1, and because they are getting shot at by medium rifles,
Oh, shit, maybe I didn't want
that
to do
means that they are going to also get clipped. One of them is going to get clipped for 4 damage. 5 would have been enough to kill somebody in the chop shop.
Well,
Marco.
it's realistic.
Yeah. Basically, Marco. There's
Marco.
a moment.
Back it, Marco. Oh, poor baby injured. Is he?
Marco gets shot by a rifle round that comes right across him. Like he just basically gets shot. And I will say, as a rifle round, these guys are carrying like automatic type weapons, but like they are set to only be single shot. You cannot have an automatic weapon basically in Canada unless you're like police service or anything like that. So this is just like they're firing single shot rounds out of like assault weapons basically. One of these rounds goes and clips Marco severely. Marco, for all of us to know, is Patty's like thrall, like most bound to human, and
Her lover, essentially.
and actually the person who runs the chop shop. He gets shot and gets like pegged down. Ah! And
Hurts, doesn't it, bitch?
This is why you're not awake. This is a good man, and he just got shot. Then, as all the bikers begin to like go out and drive off, none of them get their tires shot. Nobody gets injured off of that. They drive off. And then as the gunfire kind of subsists, all of the vampires inside just kind of like take a moment, just kind of look, not breathing, but they all just kind of prep. Screaming comes up from Marco. There's a moment when the chop shop guys carry Marco in, put him up onto the, like, they're gonna put him up onto the bar. It's like, no, get him over there. As Patty moves him, tries to get him over towards the pool table, says, no, pull him this way, because like he's just covered in like sunlight specks. They bring him upstairs, just to the main kind of meeting space. Patty is immediately gonna be like, Ivy, get upstairs. Okay, right now. Ivy is gonna, and she's like, and get your bag. Ivy's gonna run and get her medical bag, get up all her stuff, and is gonna run up to save Marco. Everybody else is just kind of like hunkering down, kind of like holding. And after all the chaos kind of comes through, they all pause for a moment. They all look to Patty. Patty looks to all of them. Everybody, get some boards up. We're going to cover this up. She's just kind of at a loss for a moment as she just kind of goes and takes a second for her mind. And she says, call in everybody in the chop shop right now. We're going to tell them what to say. Everybody else, get to sleep. We're going to move from there to you guys.
Yay!
To our regular working Joes.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dr. Pennypots.
Yes.
We begin to go to the Collingwood Wellness Center, where you have, well, first of all, we're at your home as you have awakened early in the day. There's nothing really crazy going on for you. You're in your very haunted but lavish home. you are about to like call in one of the kind of like selected Ubers that you know is reliable for yourself to be able to like get you cover that you need and you know is going to be arriving up at the door. You have like a lot of like large hedges outside of your home, like tall trees that you know will block out the sun for you while it's like able to come through and like get you inside of the back seat. So you know these cars, they are secure. Describe what you're looking like as you begin to go out to your work.
Yeah, so today Dr. Potts is sporting some emerald green. It's kind of like an emerald green wrap dress. It's not too revealing, but there is a bit of a V-neck going on. She's got a nice necklace that, again, isn't chunky or too showy, but again, it's matching the emerald. It's got a little bit of silver around it, matching earrings. She's wearing green sort of, not pumps, but Mary Jane style with a strap and a little bit of a heel. They've got a rounded toe. They're like very shiny. They definitely look like something that like an actor would wear on stage. You know, if you've ever seen like dance shoes that actors wear that are super colorful and just like very shiny and polished. But like they're movable shoes. They're her more comfy shoes, even though they still have like a 2-inch heel. She's got a nice like gray jacket on. She's got an emerald green hat that matches instead of her like scarf that she originally had. She still has the chunky sunglasses, but she's got a bit of a like little bit of a brim on this one, almost a cloche, but not quite a cloche. It's like if a cloche had a brim, so it's just very like rounded. It's got a little bit of a ribbon on it and just like a little sort of tiny bit of a brim. Again, very like 50s, 60s sort of vibe.
You're going to be clearing a lot of etiquette checks on that one. That's pretty good.
Right? She likes to be fancy.
Mm-hmm.
What's the point of being undead if you can't be fancy?
You can't be fancy. Wonderful. So great. You are dressed in your not quite cloche, but getting close to cloche. I know fashion. But you're dressed up in this wonderful like kind of like emerald themed like outfit as you begin to go off into your car. You see that the driver, the young man, looks back and says, "Hello."
Hello, Sajad. How are you today?
I'm very good. It's good to see you, Dr. Potts. You look ravishing as always.
Oh, stop. She's got kind of like not quite like bubblegum pink lipstick, but like it's pink, but you can tell it's not her natural shade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
yeah.
She's got like a little bit of like it's like a pink and green sort of vibe.
Sajad looks at you, gives you just a moment of just like saying, same stop as always for yourself, just going right off to work then?
Yes, thank you so much.
Wonderful. Do you have anywhere else that you go aside from work? I feel like I only ever drive you to and from work basically. And he just starts like going.
Oh, well, you know, I not to complain, but you know, my work is a little bit more taxing emotionally sometimes. I do tend to keep to myself more often and decompress. But I see friends. And she is definitely saying this more to herself than Sajad.
Friends are a great thing. They're really good. I love to get together sometimes. I actually had my wife invited one of her friends. Like over. It was fine. They talked about things I don't understand what they're talking about.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I mean, having friends over and just having people that you can be close to and share activities with is fantastic.
Do you mind if I roll down the window for a second? You see as he starts to creep it and he lowers down one of the windows and like immediately sun kind of like bursts in. Can you do a dexterity and you don't have celerity for yourself, do you?
I have a single celerity skill called Cat's Grace that I can invoke, and I definitely know how it works and how to use it. The vampire gains a balance and grace equal to and surpassing world-class trapeze artists. They can walk and even run across ledges and wires effortlessly and can keep their balance on the slimmest of supports. The user automatically passes any dexterity or athletics-based test needed to keep their balance.
Okay, great. I was just going to say, if you have a check, you can make a dexterity and athletics move just to kind of like get out of the way of this sunlight coming through. And you add, go ahead and add your celerity to this as well.
Excellent.
Like your bonus number. Yeah.
Heck yeah. So I've got 1 celerity, and I've got 2 in dexterity. So I think that's 3 total because I don't.
Because you got nothing in athletics.
Nothing in athletics. Cat's grace is just you. You can pass. You can run on things.
You got it.
You can run so fast.
2 successes.
Yeah, easy enough for you to be like, oh yeah, of course, John, and just immediately just like yes. It's just like you lounge back and just having a good time, and there's a big old thing of sunbeam just coming right on through the door. Yeah, it's also good. You succeed by enough that anytime it's like moving and shifting, you'd be good just so, and you can block yourself behind the chair basically.
Can I retcon to say today she's got like a little like fan with her?
You can absolutely have a fan with you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
She's got like a fancy
And like a special like kind of laced green glove for yourself so that when the glove it covers up, you're good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you and Sajad basically you just have a casual conversations as you begin to go through. He drops you off at work. As you begin to go through, he says, have a wonderful rest of your day, Dr. Potts.
Yes, you too. Say hi to your wife for me.
I absolutely will. Oh, she wonders about you. She always does.
Oh, well, that's so sweet. You're both so sweet. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
And then you begin to go inside of your clinic. And presently, right now, it's just Sky right now doing work right now. Lena, who's one of your other receptionists, she is currently in school, but she's going to be coming back because she's currently training to be working in trauma therapy as well. But Sky sees you, is like, good morning, Dr. Potts. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well, Sky. And yourself?
I'm okay.
Only okay?
Yeah.
Oh, well, sometimes only okay is perfectly okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
She kind of like goes up. Your 9 o'clock meeting canceled. So yeah, it looks like after your 8 a.m. meeting, you are going to be there's like a few openings. Do you want any walk-ins today, or are you kind of are you open for yourself having the walk-ins?
Yes, absolutely. We'll open up those walk-in appointments. I've recently started work on a new research paper, so if there are no walk-ins, unless anyone else needs me for any reason, I'll be in my office just working on that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. She just begin to go. Yeah.
Okay.
You begin to go just in your office. And then this is. I mean. You can honestly auto success if you would rather in terms of your work, or you could roll to see how effective you are at your job. When it comes to this, it's basically like your, I believe, like your intelligence or your resolve, whichever. I think what is higher for you, intelligence or resolve?
They are both 3.
Okay. What is your highest number, just so I know?
It's actually composure, which is a 4.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could determine, like, do you, when it comes to these conversations with, like, many mortals and everything, do you lead more with your, like, natural, like, kind of, like, your intellect, or is it more of a social thing for you? Is it the idea of having composure for yourself?
I think it's definitely, the composure is rooted in being unflappable. With her sire, Sebastian, she's kind of, in her mind, she's sort of seen the worst of the worst. So everyone else, including humans, including the threat of like being caught, including like vampire hunters and things like that, all of those risks and threats are like negligible compared to like the risk that her sire Sebastian like poses to her on just like a mental personal level and a like, oh, if this guy ever actually found me, I'd kind of be hooped probably.
Right.
So I don't know if that actually answers your question, but
mostly it's just to see like when you are interacting with your clients, like on a day-to-day work, are you operating usually when it comes to a mental capacity, or is it more of a social spacing? Like, are you there in a social space for them, or is it more like a mental engagement?
I think it's more of a mental engagement. I think one of the reasons that Penny has found so much success in this field is like her ability to maintain that sense of detachment.
Okay.
And to really, because again, I'm not a therapist. I've never trained to be a therapist. I've looked into it though. It's fascinating, and there are just some things like when you're a therapist, like people are gonna project onto you, like people are gonna like engage in transference at points, and things like that. So my understanding is like you have to get really good at like those boundaries and really good at especially at the psychoanalysis part of like helping people understand themselves because you can see them from the outside kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's even because she puts on her very charming voice and you as well, have a wonderful day, so nice to see you, I'm Princess Diana. Like I think most of the time she's engaging with probably everyone except Colin on some sort of like intellectual level where she's always got like a little bit of space.
I want to say with that, go ahead and make an intelligence, and I'll leave it up to you. You can make the decision on this because there's a lot of unique avenues to it in terms of the process. You make a very good point as well with saying like it's not about just it's not about like just a performance element of this. Which is not. It's like you're coming at it from a place of like, I have knowledge and this ability to share things, but it is a social kind of way to pair it. So I will say you can make a choice with either insight, leadership, etiquette. If you want to keep going down that other pathways of detachments, or maybe even coming in from that true intellectual place, it could be medicine or academics. You have or hell, you could even go into like the science of it. You get so many options for how you could approach your work. So it's whatever you feel is best for you, whatever like the flavor in which Penny Potts presents her humanity basically to people in your work.
Yeah. So I kind of want to be a gremlin. My highest skill is medicine with a specialty in diagnostics with a 4. I think probably the more story accurate thing would be insight, which is a 3. So I'm going to roll it with insight.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Going on. I like how the gremlin energy is. I'll take 2 less dice.
I'll take 2 less dice.
Yes.
But maybe I should not have. 2 successes.
2 successes. Do you want to do willpower to re-roll any of them? Because you do have a lot of appointments.
Yeah. Let's use a willpower to re-roll this.
You get to re-roll up to 3. So long as they're not hunger dice.
Excellent. I got a 2 on my hunger dice.
Great.
And I got 2 6s, so let's re-roll the other 3. Oh, we got a 4, a 5, and a 1.
Okay, so just 2 successes.
2 successes.
So I will say on this, 2 successes is totally fine.
Okay.
Your practice, I will say, is one that when it comes to like, you know what? This is gonna sound a little strange.
Okay.
You are going gremlin route, and you can allow me. You can also stop me if you don't agree with this. But I think that for yourself, you have approached things very detached and very diagnostics. Matter of fact, you're also coming into today with a desire for something different. You're coming at this from looking and reading people in a new way. I think that today's practice for you is not one of like where you are giving people like their advice or help that they are just simply needing. It's kind of where you're pushing that line a little bit of how does this person feel when I bring up my life and my experiences. And I think that there's a moment where you, Dr. Potts, start to actually bridge the gap a little bit. You start to share like little things about like how you relate to these people. Why you're a good match to talk to them, and why you're looking forward to the session, and why you're happy that they talk about how like they're dealing with financial stress, or how someone coming to you after like months and months of neglect from family is like, I also felt neglected. I really did feel that way, and I can understand. Like you start to really build personal connections.
Okay. Okay.
I feel like that's kind of what you start to do in this moment.
Yeah, I could vibe that. I could vibe it.
Okay. I won't make you cross the line of saying you're gonna make a friend of your patients here, but you are definitely opening yourself up to more of that social energy of that engagement. And I will say I'm just gonna simply with a 2. I'm just gonna roll 2 dice here. Like your patients are definitely coming at you from this place, but many of them like in terms of their own facilities, we'll see how they take it. Yeah, it's a little odd, like a little odd change, but they're some of them welcome to that. Like they are welcome to that kind of space. You don't do anything that's like bad. Like people come out with something that you probably wouldn't say. It's not just like a nod in a moment. You start to see, similar to your one particular special patient, Roger Bailey, who you have like literally saved when he was on a knife's edge. You come to these patients and you see something in them that you've seen before, which is like smiles leave their faces when they walk out of your office.
Nice.
It's rare because you do come very academic and you do come from a place of like, hard structure. But right now, today, you're being a little gremlin. It's a little different. And so social energy has kind of awakened you for this.
Yeah, I've been hanging out with like new people. I went to an emo concert. I hang out with bikers now.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I'm the cool girl now.
I'm cool now.
I'm
cool now.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm the cool mom.
Exactly.
Do you guys need anything? Condoms? I'm cool mom. Sorry, please.
You talk to one of your patients just like, condoms? What? What?
Physical health is just as important as mental and emotional health.
Yeah.
When we really, truly value ourselves, we want ourselves to feel good in all dimensions. If you were caring for a pet or a plant or another person, wouldn't you want that being to be physically safe and healthy?
Yeah. That's a really good point.
It's a great way to show respect to yourself. For example, I recently was faced with a situation where the value of sleep couldn't be overstated. I was I had my friend's son with me for the weekend, and being a teenager, just going through all the different hormonal changes and everything, and I know he's about your age, which is why I bring it up, and just really, this is the time in your life when you're seizing your own autonomy, and I just want you to maybe be open to the idea that autonomy includes self-care.
Wow.
That can be a decision that you make for yourself based on you valuing you.
Wow. I appreciate you sharing. That's really cool to know. Yeah. So, okay, maybe I'll think about getting condoms. Yeah. Talking to an 18-year-old boy.
Yeah.
It's
that was
just
the thing I was thinking is hilarious because I think we said Tanner was
14. 14, yeah.
14. But Penny's so at this point
Just so
removed
out of
because she's
touch.
300 years old. You're
Yeah.
you're the same age.
You're basically the same age.
Yeah. You look closer to the age of this boy. But exactly. You pass it off with that. That's great. There is the moments then when some clients cancel and they're not here. But they didn't give 24-hour notice, so you still get paid for that session. And you are also going to be able to dedicate more time and focus. What do you want to keep focusing on when it comes to your studies while you're here? Because you're in your office now, and while you're not dealing with grimoires, you do have a lot more tech here. You do have your own personal work laptop. You've also got other books that are here that you kind of have for just general practices. But what are you going to be looking at?
I think she is going to review some of the more neurobiological texts that she has access to. Things that are less behavior or psychodynamically focused and more focused on neurons, neuroplasticity, neurochemicals, synapses, things like that, physical brain structures, because she's interested in maybe finding out if she or any of her vampire clients would be willing to take a brain scan, just like in the real world, some really fascinating new research. And when I say new, I mean like the last like decade or so. You know, they compare brain activity between individuals, you know, with trauma histories versus like people who have not had traumatic experiences, and they show different stimuli and they see which areas of the brains are activating more. You know, you have like the like neurotypical brain versus like an ADHD or an autism spectrum brain, and different parts of the brain light up between different stimuli. So she wants to find out, you know, if a vampire brain will even light up or show any neurobiological activity on a brain scan, and whether or not that neurobiological activity would change after several months of therapy for a Kindred. So she might need some vampire guinea pigs who may or may not be willing to subject themselves to experimentation.
On the basis of this, I'm going to say make an intelligence as well as a... I want to say science check.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Science with a specialty in neurobiology.
Oh my god, the special... No, shut the fuck up. You did not take neurobiology as a specialty. Oh my god, I love this game.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a
Go
long
it, and that's an
game
extra
right
die.
there. Yeah.
Holy cow.
She was setting this up slowly for
Yeah.
him to be like,
Oh
mhm.
my
That'll be like if you
god.
had been awake and he was like, oh, you knew firearms, and you're like, well, I have a specialty in shooting from a bar with no...
I have a specialty in throwing a bike at some bitch.
My actually, my thing is improvised weapons. So
Nice.
Right?
Throw school at someone.
yeah.
I mean, no, wouldn't that technically be throwing a bike at someone? That's an improvised
Yeah.
weapon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
It classified.
Hell yeah.
3 successes, and one of them is a 10, so technically 4 successes.
Okay, 3 successes. Not too bad on that. Do you want to do any willpower rerolls? Do you want to spend superficial damage on yourself for that? Oh, and I'm just double checking. People healed from that, by the way, right? Like
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Great.
No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good with the 3.
Okay, great. So I do have to read a little bit into my book for this.
Excellent.
He's got to read about neurobiology.
I do. I actually do. Okay. So 3 successes, you said.
Yes, one of the successes was a 10.
But not 2 10s.
Not 2 10s, just 1 10.
So this is getting into a level of like figuring out possible studies, and I'm gonna say, you when it comes to the construction of a book, you are getting to a very big project that will take months of work, basically. But the groundwork stuff is like a really effective process already. Go ahead and knock your thing down to 8.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
The reason that you're gonna knock it down to 8 is for a very big reason. You know that vampires, like even your brain, is shut down basically. But one of the interesting things that you have come through with, and while I don't know if we've gotten to the point of the awakening check being being done, what I do think we have kind of established is that when you're awakened and when you do your rouse check, that is tied together in the same thing, which is making sure your brain is activated, especially when you're going to work. Because you need to be able to access your mind and any kind of like recesses, but minimally so. You don't draw into what a vampire's mind is so powerful for, because what vampires' minds do is that like your blood is eternal. It is as old and as living as you are. So what happens is that you have the potential to go do something that is called like memoriam, basically, which is a process of allowing your blood to focus in on your mind, where you begin to like go into your brain. This can lead to a dangerous process though, because essentially the reason that people do this, and well, Kindred do this, is to recall information and like, I'm gonna make it so simple for you. You remembering what Sebastian Bishop was for you in your human life and understanding how much of a monster he was based on your ability to go into Immemorium.
Okay.
You would not have been able to do that had you not been able to awaken your mind to everything there was. Like, you're someone who experienced trauma in a physical state, and then also awakened your mind to view it from an objective lens, basically, to reference that for a few hundred years. Like, you have studied your own trauma and the own manipulation you've experienced, and you've equated it into studies written by mortals and equations of their own brain.
Yeah.
So being able to get a vampire and doing this is possible. Getting subjects to do it is possible. Getting it under brain scan is possible. On a 3 success, I will say that, yeah, any of this is possible for you to be able to find subjects to do this. What I won't tell you the full intricacies of essentially what can happen, but it is possible. It is a very strong process, and I will say, because Memoriam can be so powerful, you might be limited in potentially what can, how many times you could be working with a subject.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Excellent. Okay.
All right. Yeah, and with all of that, it's going to then move from your day at work, and we're going to be focusing on Declan.
Excellent.
So Declan, you are currently in your home / office. This is Irish Investigations. This is your place, and you've awakened early. Go ahead and describe to us like your home and your energy you bring to the home. Like, what's going on for Declan right now as he's getting ready for his noonday meeting?
Yeah, it's the building itself is like one of those like small, like it'd be a small house that you could have like top floor could have like a tenant, bottom like basement could have a tenant, except instead of 2 tenants, the basement is the actual office space. So there's literally like a downstairs entrance to get into the office versus the main house. Let me look at my heaving. Yeah, so like with the business establishment of Irish Investigations, I've got one of those like, there's like a little sign that says like ring, like if you have an appointment, like ring the bell.
Yeah.
And it literally is like one of those, like they do it as like the bzzz, and then I have a button at my desk that I can lock the door to let people in. It's literally just like a very like classic detective office. I've got like the wooden desk, got a coat rack behind the desk. I've got a second coat rack on the other side.
Like
of the
antique
desk.
furniture
Like,
pieces.
yeah, it's like got like some older pieces, and then there's like a locked door to the one side, and then like another door that I usually keep locked that like has stairs up to the main house. In the one that's like off to the side is where he keeps basically all of the it was an unused room until recently, which now it has become a library. Just a small library where he realizes he's going to have to look more into vampirism and like the Kindred as a whole. So he's got a majority of occult books tied to like myths, legends, lore of the Kindred Society, which is why he keeps it locked, so that a client doesn't just walk into this. He also, the coat rack behind the desk is where he hangs his like trench coat. He also has like a winter coat that usually hangs there, and he just very openly hangs his like his gun on the coat rack.
Yeah.
He does it as like a show of like, I have a weapon, but I'm keeping it over here. Like, so when you come in, like, don't come in with aggression, because just so you know, I'm licensed to use this thing. But under the desk, he also has a little mechanism that he built that there's a shotgun like underneath being held up, that if he pushes like what almost like looks like a gas pedal, it drops it onto his lap so he can pick it up if needed. So it's like, oh, he has a gun there, he's armed, but like it's over there, so if anyone does try to get spicy, he just does a and like pulls it out. And then yeah, the main house is just, again, was a like 2-bedroom had like a little like office space up there, which he also has recently switched around, knowing that there's more people in his life now than he was expecting, and knowing one of those people being very, what's the nicest way to put it? Careless. He has slowly changed this extra office room into a small medical room. So he actually has like a surgery spot, just a single dot, so he can like help repair basic things, basically.
Kind of like a little medical space.
Yeah.
Like in a place that would be a bathroom, but like the walls kind of pulled out a little bit.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Yeah, I feel like it was like a bathroom, and then there was like the office space, and he just kind of busted down the wall and has made it all into like one kind of little surgery area.
Nice.
He does have like the basic training as a first responder back when he was a cop, as well as being a hooligan back when he was a teen, and knowing that people got injured like crazy.
You can do home stitching. Home stitching.
Yeah, and so he's got that kind of set up there now. But yeah, as he kind of wakes up knowing he has this meeting, he just kind of goes over to his closet, pulls the first shirt, throws on a Sex Pistols tee, pulls on a pair of jeans, puts his trench coat on, goes to the door that leads to the stairs inside to go down to the office, goes down, locks it, takes the trench coat off and puts it onto the coat rack, hangs the gun up. And then, yeah, I think the office would also be where he has his, like, Windows 95 style PC on the desk.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think he probably would still, because the night before I had done a Facebook search on Arnold.
Yes.
And found some, like, basic stuff. And I think until Arnold shows up, he's just going to kind of look through there. And specifically, he would be looking for, is this a genuine Facebook page? Was this, like, he's going to go to the oldest post that he can.
Yeah.
And if it was made within the year, he's going to count that as suspicious. He's also going to be looking around to see any connections, any family, to try to get any info beforehand on this supposed missing son.
Yeah.
And also, just so you know, any social media, he has an alias that just is, the name is Rory Devitt.
Very good.
And the only thing that the Rory Devitt account posts is fan like posts for the Shamrock FC back in Ireland.
No way.
And it's also the way so that he also keeps track of his favorite football team. But
what a dad!
Yeah.
What a dad! Oh my god!
Oh yeah. What a the other thing that he does have that he checks up. He doesn't follow it, but he checks up is the Commonwealth Academy, which is where he met Anna in Boston. It's the high school that they went together for his like senior year kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And he checks up on their soccer team that he was a part of when he was in high school.
Oh yeah, love it. Love a man with a mission. You, Declan, and you had rolled already to kind of like see into Arnold's like Facebook thing at the end of our last session.
And
I believe it was how many? Like I thought it was like 4 or 6.
Because I think you got me to do.
Was it intelligence and tech?
Intelligence tech. So yeah, I think it was a 4.
Yeah, 4.
Yes, yeah, because that's the absolute most it could be. But also, just so you know, the second he wakes up, he has like a little portable cassette speaker, and he immediately puts a tape in and closes it and starts playing. And today, I think he put in Patti Smith tape, and he just kind of goes and he carries it with him wherever he goes, including down to the basement as well. And we'll have it playing while he's like doing his research and stuff.
Nice. It's actually perfect that you went onto Facebook to find Arnold. First of all, Dad recognizes Dad. Arnold has a Facebook post that's been on for probably as long as Facebook, like even before it became Meta. He has had Facebook now.
Okay.
2024 vampire game. It listed as Meta. But yeah, on his Facebook, basically, Arnold has quite a few posts, and I will say that you do notice that he works at the Canada Place. He actually works at the Canada Place building as a government employee. He works mainly with like kind of like tax stuff. Like he works in a lot of their term like kind of things, like working actually in sending off taxes for other people, processing like forms and all that. Very respectful position. He works really hard. You notice his recent posts though. His posting has like dipped down, and especially not just in the last month, but like a few years. At first, you're starting to think, this is a guy, but you notice there was pretty healthy activity. You notice that his wife, the posts that kind of like come up later are a lot of his wife, memoriam photos and pictures and a lot of posts. And what you kind of start to piece together here is that Arnold's wife, it seems, passed away from complications with cancer. It seems she had passed away just due to awful disease, and a lot of what he has been posting has been memoriams of that, remembering her. You also notice that in terms of his son, like not a lot of attention on him. I would say at least for over 2, maybe even 3 years. It seems like a lot of it kind of like focused on his wife for about 2 years, and it looks like she passed away about a year and a half ago. You get a really clear sense of, probably just the guy in terms of what his most recent life has maybe been, especially because you yourself live a life like this, and remembering. Yeah, you live, it's the thing that brings you life. Yeah. Like, truly, it's the thing. And you can look at this, and there's a moment to just kind of like looking through where you see him and his wife, like one of the photos, all the memoriam photos are not of him and her. It is of her. And there's a photo that you see where it's like she's taking a photo across, like she's a beautiful woman. He's a tall, well-groomed man, well put together. She is well put together and tall too. There's a moment where she's taking a photo on like her cell phone, and you know that there's a secondary phone of it because you think they got cute one time with each other when they were just doing that thing. And it's like, yeah, I've seen people do this. Let's try it. And taking that photo, and you don't necessarily know how good the angle was, but you do wonder, like, where's the other half of that phone, like, picture? Like, where is that? And what was it that she was seeing? Like, what he's seeing her, what was she seeing here? What, like, for yourself with Declan, as you're kind of, like, reflecting in that, does anything for yourself kind of come into mind?
Yeah, I think as he gets kind of into it a bit, it does start to kind of feel too familiar. And as he's kind of scrolling, something that only probably him and Cass have ever seen that are still alive is, as he's scrolling, his hand almost starts to like twitch, but in a way that kind of looks like if a computer glitched, and it's like the hand like suddenly like switches around, and he pulls a flask out, drinks a bit of the blood in it, and it kind of calms down, and then he turns the music up to the point where like it's literally to the full volume of this little speaker, and then goes back to it and just very much focuses like the emotion and the connection started to hit. And then he basically took a moment to steel himself and has now gone back into full deduction mode and looking for more connection, drowning out any other sound. The only sound that he probably could actively hear at this point is the buzzer going off.
Right. And at that moment, you hear, like, is that moment when you do hear it come through for yourself.
He doesn't know how tabs work, so he just exits out fully of minimizes like Facebook onto the screen, and then turns the music down, hits the button to unlock the door, and will like shut off the sound for when Arnold comes in.
Okay. it basically comes through where Arnold is able to he accesses presses the buzzer, enter you go through the process of having him be able to come in. As he's brought through, he comes down and he's dressed up for work. You can see that he's meeting you in his full work attire. I believe that today's a Friday. I'm trying to remember exactly the date, or no, I think it is actually the beginning of the work week, actually, right? Yeah, because you guys had the weekend and you came back. Or a little bit of time had actually passed before then.
So maybe a Wednesday or something.
Yeah.
No, I think that today is actually I don't have my phone with me, but I believe today is a Monday.
Okay.
So yeah, beginning of the work week, he comes down and he sits with you, just kind of across the table, and he's like, "Thank you very much for." He looks at your shirt, looks at you.
It's one of the advantages of being able to work from home. I get to make my own dress code.
I had some time working at home. I much rather preferred working at the office. So yeah, what exactly would you like me to tell you about? What do you need?
So basically what I would need, I'll start out by telling you that my services for a full investigation, I usually go around 750 per day. I write down an itemized list of all the things that I do in that day to give to my clients, knowing that I didn't just sit around at a A&W or something and eat on their dime. Usually that. Always try to put in minimum 6, maximum 8 hours of work per day. When it comes to a new client, such as yourself, I do a quick kind of, feeling out process. I only charge half of a day's work for me to look into whatever the case is, to look into whatever I need to figure out. Also getting to know the specifics from yourself. Once I look into it, I will then contact you, whichever way is best for you. Letting you know that I can 100% take the full case. In which case then the other half of that day's work can be paid. And then usually again, it depends on the actual thing itself, but that's the information that you're here to give me. I need to know any specifics of, you said it was your son that was missing, correct, Mr. Martin?
Yes.
So any specifics on your son himself, age, if you have any photos of him.
He immediately goes and he pulls out his briefcase, pops it open, and he opens it up, and he presents you a couple photos. He presents you a family photo, where he shows him, his wife, and his son. It's just the three of them. A photo of his son, and then a photo of his son and another boy. It looks like they're kind of at a baseball field together, and they're both dressed in an outfit. And one of the other friend is just kind of this in the photo, and he's just standing there smiling. He says, "My son's name is Keith."
Keith.
Yes, Keith Martin. He's about 18 years old. He's basically gone missing for a few days now.
All right, that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
Do you have, obviously, probably don't know the exact, but do you know how long ago it was that you yourself realized that he was a missing person?
I would say it was at least a couple of days ago.
All right.
You can immediately, if you want to make a wits insight check, you can. It's a difficulty of 2.
That is 2.
You can immediately tell he's preserving the idea that he's not being 100% truthful in that. You actually think it might have been a couple days later that he actually noticed. Yes, I believe that he was with the boy in the photo, his name is Lewis. Sometimes he goes by Lou, but Lewis, yeah. He was with him. Lewis, I think, drove him in his car. He drives like a 2010 Toyota, gray. Doesn't he took some cash? Took a lot of cash actually. I saw there was a withdrawal amount of like $1,000. So I wasn't sure what that was all about, but yeah.
And obviously you were saying that they were driving. I'm going to make an assumption and say that you're not sure where they were driving to necessarily.
No, I tried looking. He stole only cash from me. He didn't take any cards, so I couldn't track him on my bank statements. Lewis's family, though, they were able to see that Lewis did steal one of their credit cards, and there was a transaction made, I think, at some kind of like a store, a small shop or something. It was I think it was like not a pawn shop, but it was like some kind of like new age medicine space. Something that was very like small collectible things. Spent some money on quite a few things there, but that was the last thing that they saw.
All right. The last things I'm going to ask for you today, before I look into what I can do with this, if you have any other known associates, friends, partners, anything like that, if I could get that from you, and then I'd also
Partners in terms of
like
work?
girlfriends or
no
like,
girlfriends.
Just like or if there was like any sort of basically anyone that you know for a fact that Keith would have associated with.
Keith mostly kept to himself. There's not a lot of people that he talked to within my own like work and my own family. There's not many people that have been contacting with him.
Right, and then you, I'm assuming from what you said, you have contacted Lewis's parents.
Yes.
As well. Just to cross off all avenues, if you could also either give me a contact or an address for them as well.
Right.
Whatever you think is best.
Writes down contact, their home phone.
Yep, I can get in contact with them as well. Get a bit more info. Sometimes, especially when someone goes missing with another person, and if they're both missing, Keith may have kept to himself. Lewis may have other associates that he may know, other friends. I'd say at least 50% of the time, especially with teenagers, a lot of the time it could be going out with friends, heading to your friend's place, not letting people know, being off the grid, and as much as it sucks and it's scary, that's what we hope for. We hope for that kind of a thing, but as I said, I can basically, if you'd like me to start, I can do this either today, and we can do the initial 375 for the initial kind of setup. We could deal with that tomorrow, and I could still start my work today. Otherwise, if you need a bit of time to get together, I don't make any assumptions on any of my clients. I can also just start whenever you're ready for the initial we'll call it kind of a down payment, I guess would be the best way to put it, or deposit, just for the initial services of trying to figure out what I can.
Okay.
Is there anything else on your mind? Anything else that you think might be of help?
Keith is a very emotional boy. He also isn't not very, how do I say this? He's been very angry and distant. It's been hard to communicate with him. So I'd say just watch out for that.
100%. I'll let you know. kind of separate from the business side of things a little bit. I may look relatively young. I actually do have a daughter myself who's gone through the teenage years. I understand that it can be scary. They can, as you said, they can get a lot of emotion. I don't know about your situation. I don't know anything with your family, with Keith, with yourself. I know for myself, my daughter and I, we've gone through a lot together, and some days it brings you closer, some days it pulls you apart, but blood is blood, and I think as long as you care, and even if it's hard to show it sometimes, they know. And again, I'll do what I can to get your son back to you.
You can go ahead and start with the investigation for. Go ahead, and he will get your like written information to like. Do you prefer like checks, cash?
Honestly, checks or cash are completely fine.
He's gonna write a check for you there, just as you say that. He'll write signature and his name, and then over to you.
E-transfer.
Thank you.
Don't do that one.
He gets up, close up the case. And if you need anything else, just call me. And
Absolutely, I kept your number from when you called me, and yeah, I will definitely let you know if I need anything else from you. Have as good of a day as you can, Mr. Martin.
Thank you. And Mr. Martin walks on out. I want to ask you, in the rest of the day, do you do anything else that's like kind of major before like being able to go outside and do that? Is there anything major kind of stuff you do?
I think the thing that he would do is probably within like 30 minutes of Arnold leaving. It's so funny because my brain keeps trying to say Andrew because there's a pro wrestler named Andrew Martin, and so my brain tries to like do that, but it's Arnold.
Arnold.
The second that Arnold leaves, he's gonna open up the Facebook thing again.
Yeah.
And then
The Facebook thing?
Yeah, the Facebook thing.
Yes, that thing called
head
Facebook.
up, and he's gonna kind of like go to like literally like type in like www.google.com, and then realize he's in Canada, so backspace google.ca.
Yeah.
And hit it. And then yeah, within like not too long, I think he's going to, because I'm assuming it's still kind of like morning at this point.
Oh, it's your meeting has just been at noon and it's gone until like 12:30.
So I think at this point, he's going to make an initial call just to see if he can catch anyone at Lewis's parents, because he got the home phone number, and if he catches someone, great. If he doesn't, he's gonna leave a message. Just basically, his number one thing that he is thinking about right now is Arnold had vague information. They would actually have the name of where the credit card was used.
Okay.
And he wants to figure that out because he knows what kind of world we actually live in. And so the second that he can find that and see if he can connect it to any actual supernatural things.
Yeah.
To see is this just like a place where like the average like Wiccan or like New Age like person goes to just for fun or for their own like religious purposes, or is this like something that has more to it, like something that he could connect to the occult and actually connect to like whether it's Kindred society or whether it's whatever else there is, especially after hearing with V the whole technocratic mages and everything.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out if there's any connection past just a regular kind of a case. Is there more to this? Is what his initial thing is, because he wants to basically know, is he going at this at normal like Declan speed, or is he going at this of like, okay, this is actually serious, this is going to need to be like figuring out more, especially with this group, the new earners that are around. He's
Yeah.
like, is there some sort of connection to that? Is this going to be a situation where he's fine just figuring this on his own, or is he going to call Dr. Potts and be like, hey, I have more information about this weird group or more things going on, as at this point his only official contact to slightly more societal kindred.
Yeah. Go ahead. So you're going to make the phone call.
Yes.
I will highlight the phone call on this because this is very telling. You do get a pickup, and it's Lewis's mom.
Yeah.
And Lewis's mom picks up, and as soon as you describe like kind of like where you're like
Yeah.
where you work is, she goes, oh, thank you. No, and you met with
Yes, so
Arnold.
with
Arnold?
Mr. Martin.
Yes.
And I'm doing an initial look at
It was on the phone.
case.
It's a man that was speaking before with Arnold. Yes, continue.
Yes, basically all that I was calling for, and I would love to, if I continue keeping this case, if I can find more out, I'd love to keep you both in the loop as well.
Yes, please do.
your husband.
So sorry. I just want to let you know. So you're looking for him. I just want to let you know. We don't know exactly what all is happening. We contacted the police. It seems that Lewis he stole the car, like
Yes.
one of the cars we have at the home, and he also took what was it? And he said took it was like a gun that we have. He took a home defense firearm as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Mr. Martin also told me that he had taken a credit card.
Yes, that's
yours.
correct. Yes.
And he said that there was the last purchase that you saw of it was at a small shop. I was wondering if I could get the name of the shop.
Yes,
if
of
you
course.
have it.
It's called Aurora's Antiques.
Aurora's Antiques.
Yes.
Perfect. I'm going to be looking into this. And
It was
as I s-
downtown Edmonton as well, and they give you the actual location.
Oh, perfect. That's wonderful. Yes. Again, you know what? I'm gonna. If you have a piece of paper around you,
Yes.
I'm going to give you my number as well.
Okay.
And if you have any other information, if you see another purchase on the card, if you get any word on the vehicle itself, and you have more information that could help with this, you can easily give me a call. Here it is, and I'll give them my
Thank you
my
very
business
much.
number. I feel like also I had Cass help set it up so that if I'm not at the business phone, it does the thing where like the phone will like push the call to your cell phone.
Like call forwarding?
Yeah, call
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
That like I can do for that, so that even if I'm out, I can still get it. But yes, I'm actually very sorry. Mr. Martin did not give me your last names.
Oh, my name is Mildred.
Mildred.
Yes.
All right.
Mildred. Mildred Pearson.
Pearson. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you there, Mrs. Pearson. Again, I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to learn what I can. I told Mr. Martin, if this feels like something that I am not only willing but able to do, if I can figure out even the slightest lead on this, I'll be taking the case. As I told him, total for my services will be $750. He said that he's willing to pay. If this does help you guys, if you wanted to, assist him in any way with that, you're welcome to. If not, I do need information from you, so that's why I gave you this call as well. But I'm gonna do what I can, and Mr. Martin, I'll let him know by tomorrow whether or not this seems viable for myself.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And
Yes.
you hear them. And my name is Gregory. I just want to let you know that thank you. We hope this goes well. Thank you.
Yes, of course. I know this is a trying time for both of you. Just do the best you can to keep hope.
Thank you.
And then I'll do that, and then immediately searching
Sounds good.
for Aurora's Antiques.
Sounds good.
I
We
put
will-
in the address and everything too.
We will come into that later on here. I want to just double check for you. Is there anything during the day aside from clients that you're going to be focusing on? Anything else aside from everything that you've been focusing on, or no?
I do just want to say that Penny has come up with a great title for her research paper.
Great.
Which eventually will become a book. It is called Reanimating the Self, an exploration of kindred behavior, cognition, and attachment in pursuit of wellness and psychological integration following the trauma of undeath.
Reanimating the self.
Right when I thought you were
Colon.
you just kept fucking going, and I was like, yes, that's. I fucking love that.
I've seen studies and papers on the internet. Their titles are always like
Re-
So there's no like copying anybody else, right? Like
reanimating the self. Smart stuff.
smart stuff.
I
I'll
will.
text you.
That
It's-
would be
it's like
great.
animating itself and then like colon.
Yes.
And then all the rest, so that everyone who's not a researcher just calls it reanimating the cell.
Yes.
But then all of like the really scientific minds are like, oh yes, I've read the reanimating cell.
Birdman or the unexpected virtue of ignorance.
Yes.
Wonderful.
exact.
I
100%.
love that. And that took you all of the morning.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been working on that all session.
Heck.
She
There's someone-
figured out the neurobiology stuff and just like, that took 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's like here's the thing. All of the other stuff was easy to get, and then
Yeah.
you're like, okay, and now what's the pithy thing?
I love to imagine that it wasn't just her writing too. She was like pacing her office with like a little voice recorder to be like, what about?
There's reconstructing the soul. No, that's a faith book. That's religious.
Second chance at life. Well, it's not really life. It's
That sounds like
technically
self-help.
Yeah, second chance.
It's too new agey.
No, exactly. Oh, what about it's just life? No, yeah,
Such is life.
yeah. Such is life. Oh.
What
Such is life
It's
and
my
death.
life. No, that's a Bon Jovi song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, we're gonna be getting into the evening, like later nighttime.
I don't get anything because I'm sleeping, isn't that right?
Exactly. Until now,
You get to try to wake up.
Gertie, it's evening, and you do wake up, and you describe to me what your room in the clubhouse looks like. You have a den here. There's a few like people like part of the nomads don't have rooms. They have like guest spaces, like cots kind of stuff. But you have an actual bedroom. What does it look like for Gertie inside of the basically the kennel? What does it look like?
Honestly, she doesn't actually have. She has like certain pieces to her room, but outside that, because of like how she grew up on the streets and like that kind of stuff, she always knows that sometimes at any moment you could just pack up and leave, and so she doesn't really have too many personal things. She does have a bottle of liquor under her bed all times.
That's the last one in the clubhouse.
Yeah, it is. That's the one I'm nursing after this conversation with the group. But in my closet, I have like a whole bunch of my leather jackets. I have a lot of riding stuff in terms of clothes. I do have like one leather skirt that Beverly has been trying to get me to wear, and I told her to fuck off, and she has put it in there. And every time I try throwing it out, she tries putting another girly thing in my closet, so I just like fucking just.
Like, the leather one at least looks fine.
Yeah, so I leave it in there, but if anybody was to mention it, I'd probably like punch their lights out or something. But at the same time, I can admit, be like, the leather skirt does look nice. Don't put it on myself, but I'm like, it is cute. But I don't say that to anybody else but myself.
For sure.
I do have like a couple of bandanas, and like I do have a couple of just like dirty, oily caps that I wear for when I do work on bikes, and especially vehicles, just so that oil doesn't get in my eyes or anything like that. So I have a couple of those, but not a lot of like personal effects, except for the collar of the one dog that I owned on the street before it accidentally got killed, and kind of domino affected to everything else in my life. I keep that collar with me all the time on my nightstand, and then I also keep like a little stone, like this. It is just like such a gray, unassuming rock, but Patty gave it to me, and I just also keep that on my nightstand. She just like it's when I was on the streets or whatever, and she'd like talk to me, and I would just kind of ignore her at first, and she like one day just like gave me this stone and just was just like, keep it on rolling, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
cheesy
keep
shit,
on
but
rolling.
just keep on.
Stone.
She's like, baby, just keep on rolling. I took it, and that literally, like, I just have only a couple of personal effects, but for the most part, She is a little bit messy, but she's not entirely messy because she has to, she gets yelled at a lot by Lux and a couple other people for keeping it clean. But for the most part, yeah, she doesn't keep a whole bunch, just mainly clothes. And then she does have a knife collection though that that's like under this like her main drawer that like pops open.
Like a bunch of specialty knives.
Yeah, that she likes to keep, and then she has like one pistol that she literally just keeps in her bedside drawer. Like it's not locked, it's nothing, it's just there.
Like an M1911 kind of thing, eight kind of chamber gun kind of thing, just sleek, like kind of sleek kind of color.
But it's kind of just like tossed in there, like she really couldn't give a shit. Just like yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much that's. And then she has a mini fridge. I'd say yeah.
Go ahead and please roll a wits and awareness check, please.
Wits and awareness check.
Yeah.
I did.
Everything's fine.
Everything is fine.
Everything
Hey
is awesome.
guys.
You just walk down like.
Wild morning, hey?
I have 3 successes.
Great. And go ahead, please roll a rouse check as you awaken in this moment.
Just the one, right?
Just a rouse, yeah, just to see if your blood, if you increase your hunger or not. No, it's not a hunger dice, it's just any die, you just see if you succeed or fail.
Okay, I succeed.
Okay, your hunger does not go up.
Thank God.
So, and what was the wits? What was the wits?
3.
Yeah, they're 3.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll something here.
We have a fucking memory of a goldfish. Don't ask me.
I rolled dice and I had to roll new dice.
Now I don't remember what previous was. But I do know what mine was.
On a 3, you do notice something that's not normally in your room. There's a chair that is kind of like stationed, just kind of like loosely, just like right next to your nightstand kind of thing. You see your rock and like there's your loose gun in there. And then there's a chair that's just kind of in the room, seated. And you kind of motion your head a little bit and you can see there's like a illusory effect happening over the chair. I won't startle you here. I will let you know you recognize this immediately. This is a Cloak of Shadows kind of effect. This is like someone like basically doing like kind of what Declan had done before. You hadn't noticed it then, but it was like being able to completely turn themselves invisible because they're just sitting. Like they're not doing anything.
Ghost is going to get excited.
No, this is not a ghost.
Well,
If it was a ghost, if this was a ghost, it would be bad. This is a vampire that is currently doing Cloak of Shadows.
What the fuck? Watching me sleep?
Not watching you sleep. You can clock it. You know, there's not very many people in your group of people that can do obfuscate, basically, disciplines, except for Roman. Roman is currently posted up, sitting on that chair, and you can make out the effect. You don't see much, but you do see his goggles, which are like currently up over his eyes, and you also see a long, like, big feature or something in his hands.
She smelled an insane amount of alcohol.
Oh my god.
Yes, that's the whip. That's that awareness is you just get. That's every bit. That is like jungle juice. You're getting jungle juice.
I'm over here
smell.
like, what the fuck? How drunk was I that I could still smell his like?
You, for a moment, you even like kind of go up and like Roman kind of like jostles and then turns it away. He's like, "Sorry, kid, I was trying to wash it out, but it's all over me."
Why are you covered in alcohol?
You see he's holding a 12-gauge shotgun on his lap, and he is posted up in your room.
What happened?
Calling a meeting right now.
Okay.
It's not good, kid. Marco got clipped. He's getting stable. You okay?
Yeah, it's just so tragic. That's that.
You're right.
Yeah. Just
He takes off the glasses for a moment, and you see his eyes are fully exposed, like they're torn up over his eyes. He's just looking at you. Sure.
yeah, sorry, that just was a shock.
Okay.
That's crazy.
All right. Well, got clipped in the clubhouse. Got shot up this morning.
What?
Come on. And he opens up the door. You walk in, and you can like entering through. You don't see really everybody else. Like you just see Price currently. The glass has been cleaned up. The entire east side wall has been boarded up. Like it's like plaques of wood and curtained kind of like partitions, things that they just got like some humans to come and bring in overnight or during the day. Like they're the people that work at the store or at the chop shop, and you see all this, and you can also see seated at the bar. You see Marco is just kind of like leaning. He's got like a giant bandage across his like kind of pec and his shoulder, like he's just kind of like healed up. Just kind of like sitting there. The entire bar like gone. Like broken glass was gone. It smells of strong liquor here, but you are just seeing bullet holes hit the wall. You also see Price, who's currently just kind of like there with Cooper, and the two of them are just hanging out to the side. You know that fledglings are not allowed to enter in during like the club business because they're not official members right now. They're caitiffs. They also have not been claimed to. Well, it's not because they're caitiffs. It's just because they are not designated right now because they're new to their embrace. And once they start actually displaying signs of like efficiency within that, they will choose their side. But yeah, you see this, and the only other person you see in the room right now is Lux, standing, looking at everything.
I rush over to Price and I hold him in my hands. I'm just like, what the fuck happened?
Look, we just got. You see that you
this.
see Cooper. You see Cooper has like a hole that, or like his hole in his hand is healed, but you also see that his face is scarred, like kind of on his lower chin.
I literally just like,
not typical.
Shove Price a little bit, not too much, just a little bit, just a little
The
bit.
most that your like what 4 strength person can do.
Yeah.
Whoop.
And then I grab Cooper's face and I'm like, oh my god.
Hey, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Sure?
Yeah.
You don't look fine to me. What the fuck happened?
I just got a little bit of sun. It's okay.
A little bit of sun.
Yeah, Price said, yeah, they clipped up Cooper pretty bad. And like,
who the fuck?
You hear a voice coming from up, and you hear it's actually the voice of Liv. Liv says, Gertie, come on up.
And I just kind of like pat him on the cheeks. And then I fall over.
You go there. Lux kind of like looks at you as you're walking up. This catches your eye, and then you hear Liv say, Lux. Lux kind of turns and walks with you, kind of thing. He, as you guys are walking up at this moment, he just says to you, you sleep through it?
Yeah. You?
Me too. He is not happy. But you guys open up the door. You guys enter the room right now where you guys conduct club business. Inside, you guys have your circular table. Basically an area where like the center of it is like a full collar. If anyone wants to take the center stage spot, there's a spot where they can open up and stand before everybody to present a case. But everybody's seated. The lights are low, but they are featured right now on the table where everyone can be seen. Patty sits at a section of the table in the president's chair. She has a gavel, and there is a wood stand next to it. Everybody is here. Every single person. You have Patty, Ivy, Deacon, Dole, Nelson, Roman, Beverly, and you have and Lux. You have everybody here presently. I will give you little descriptors of everybody as we kind of go around here. Patty, we obviously know herself, kind of got her undercut look to herself. She looks mature for like a vampire. People wouldn't necessarily know if it was just because she's been aging in her immortality, but like she looks like a mature woman, pretty well built.
Hot as fuck.
Hot as fuck. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. She's the queen of the kennel, baby. Ivy, who is a tatted, like also hot as fuck, but like like she's the medic basically of your guys' group. Ivy is a Bruja, or no, she's a Torador that basically operates as a medic, but she wears beauty on her sleeve basically. She's tatted with a lot of like this specialty ink. You guys have like tat masters, and she is like mixed in that. You also have Deacon, a Bruja. Hmm?
Oh, I was
Yes.
gonna say, may I suggest Ruby Rose, the model, as the like
Ruby Rose as the
the
Ivy.
template for Ivy?
Sure, why not?
Hell
You yeah, go Ruby Rose. Oh, we love her. If I go through these, you guys can give templates if you want. We have Deacon. Deacon is a and I will say Ivy's also a mixed ethnicity. Deacon himself is a white man. He's got a kind of a similar look to Ivy with a black kind of like greased kind of comb, like kind of waxed down a little bit, side shaved. He's got a kind of a built chin. He's also muscular, but as a Bruja, he's got like a lot of like kind of like more silvered jewelry. He's kind of wearing a lot of like chains and everything like that. Open vest. He doesn't usually wear a lot of shirts and everything. That's kind of one of his things. He's a very attractive man, but he's also got a very big like a bite to his edge. He's a rough one. He's a strong and potent, especially. He's a brawler. Dole, we've established big Bruja as well. Dole, however, is a little bit more concise when it comes to like his own physical presence. He's much more like he's got a shaved head, little stubbles of black hair there. He has a kind of like a stripe of like a facial hair that comes around here, kind of like a chin beard. He's got a chin strap. Yeah, he basically looks like a linebacker. He very much, but like a social one that could command a room, basically respectful. Go.
I suggest Terry Crews.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely. I will say Terry Crews has a little bit more of that like muscle sculpting kind of thing. I would say that the thing with Dole is that he doesn't have that kind of like every muscle is segmented kind of thing.
Terry Crews
He
was in football.
I would say he's like Terry, like in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he's like his brother.
Yeah.
Tiny Terry loves his pics.
Yeah.
Like that, but a softer kind of voice.
Yeah.
We have Gertie, of course. And then there is Roman. Roman, of course, is a pale Nosferatu, but it's like albino type kind of thing. Like his eyes are scarred, but also he's got like these kind of like, and the thing with his eyes is that it's also like these like splitting kind of like carves in his head. Like he is omnipresent. He's always there, and he's a gay icon. What can we say? Man is, yeah, absolutely. He wears these wonderful bangles, and he's a savage. Classic, bougie, ratchet.
Anybody who calls him gay in a way that's not respectful,
No
I will
way,
fucking jump over
Jose.
the table and I'll beat the shit
Beat
out
your
of you.
ass.
And that's how we get to our clubhouse getting shot
Yeah.
up. But you know what? Worth it.
Beverly is here as well. Torador, lavish costuming and clothing. However, for this, she's actually dressed in her full cut. And her cut is attractive, and she's attractive. She's a very big set woman. She's got blonde highlights and a black streak for her hair. She wears a lot of makeup, but while she is like done up, she is also like wearing like her club cut. Not typical of her all the time. She's proud of the nomad cut, and she's got a nomad patch, but she is prepped here. We see Lux as well. He is long, kind of like grayish hair, wisp out, kind of like this pulled back, balding kind of look that he has. Stern, wrinkled, hard face. This is a man who is also muscular, like a J.K. Simmons type. Very much built, very tall, but very stern. And finally, we have Nelson. He's a very, like, I would say average build. He's also got like long hair that's kind of caught in a ponytail. He's got a very kind face, very welcoming face. A lot of what he does is like he's wears like a very nice kind of like not like a full-on leather, so we would say with treated, but it's kind of like a buckskin kind of like outfit that he's got, like ancestral, that he wears with like beads like kind of attached to it, but the beads create the actual collar of the actual clubhouse. Like he's a very, very proud cultural man, and he's told you many stories about how this was like a cut from his own father, who himself was an actual member of the collar in the early days before he passed away, or was staked, basically. all of you guys are present in the room, and Gertie, as you come through here, your seat is prepared and you're allowed to sit. Now, you yourself are not exclusively tied to the Nomads or just the color itself. You have loyalty to Patty, but you are still a member of the full clubhouse and the actual process in which they vote. You do know that Lux is vice president, and you do know that Gertie holds Patty holds the president thing title. Everybody else has their patches that they say, like Roman has savage on his. And he also says like classically cut, which is a really just a Nosferatu kind of thing. But everybody is here and present, so there are no proxy votes, which is insane. If somebody wasn't here, for example, they would be able to give a proxy and say their vote are. But as you enter in, Patty say, I'd like to call this meeting for the caller to be in order. She slams the gavel. Well, new business. Think we all know what we're here to talk about. So Lux goes, what the fuck happened? And everybody kind of starts chiming in for a moment here, trying to say, Patty just kind of like raises up a hand, does not bang the gavel at this moment. She just says, all right. Well, we've had a little bit of time to find out some information regarding our, say, morning activities today. Deacon kind of goes over. So, basically what we found out was that there was a attack that was put on the clubhouse this morning. Basically, we've been able to pass it off to the police. They came over this morning. We were able to get everybody to just basically say that it was a rival gang attack. We ourselves were in the process of just being the victims right there. Just, you know, gang violence. A lot of people are just going to probably announce that it was just some kind of gang war or something like that. We were able to take from the one body that we have disposed of, that it was a Viper gang, it seems. It was the members of the Vipers that actually showed up. Lux looks at you with that. Anything else that we need to know? Can't say that we know too much else. There wasn't really anything on their person, just like some extra rounds. It doesn't seem like they came in here for looking for too much, but they definitely were coming in to cause a disturbance. Can't say that their intention was not to like attempt to kill anybody in the gang. It looks like they were just trying to start up some noise. But yeah, as far as we can tell, there wasn't anything like no extra gas, no kind of loose things that could start up a fire. Like especially we were concerned with that once the entire bar went down, but nobody wanted to like start up any fires whatsoever. It doesn't seem like that was their intention. It was basically just, you know, cause up some mess.
I would like to beg to differ. The fact that they were shooting up the place, they could have killed any one of us, not to their knowledge.
Well, that's kind of the thing. You do see there's a moment where Liv goes, I would actually kind of agree here with Gertie. I don't necessarily think that it was just a senseless attack. They came in from the east and they knew the east side. Like it seems as if they knew that was the side to shoot up. Like why would they just start firing round after round into one side of the building? Why not circle it? Why not try to encase us? Why were they firing from one particular spot? Deacon goes, I honestly don't have like a full scope of everything, but I can just tell you that, I mean, it seems like it was just kind of like, you know, they were trying to run up and trying to shoot this, and that was it. Patty is just kind of observing everybody right now and watching. Lux says, I find that hard to believe, too. I actually agree here with Ivy. And Deacon, I'm a little surprised that you just think it's like that, too. We have reason to believe that there was some, maybe this is in connection to some, I don't know, some kind of primmed and propered, good-looking, handsome fuckboy that decided to show up yesterday and started chatting up Gertrude here. Basically, the entire like it's definitely him trying to show respect in that moment, but like he's trying to like hold back. He says some guy showed up and started to talk about I don't know exactly like he was talking about like just getting connected with you.
Yeah. And I pretty much told him to go fuck himself.
I think that there's a reasonable case that he had something to do with this.
Unless I am provided with more information, I have no idea how those two would be connected in any way.
Roman looks at you and says, "How do you mean?"
It's just weird that he wants to. It almost seemed like he wanted to get on my good side, and I feel like by shooting up the place that he knows that clearly I care about deeply, that he would somehow be in, cahoots, as one might say, with a group like the other fucking gang that tried shooting us up. Well, not tried, did shoot us up. It's just a little suspicious, and it's a little weird to think that those things are like connected.
Lux goes, I mean, what? So at one point, some guy shows up one night to just talk to you, and then the next morning, all of a sudden, the gang, like Vipers, just start showing up. I mean, yeah, we've been having problems with them in the past, but nothing ever to this extent.
They fucking try to run me off the road and jump me.
Yeah, they try to run you off the road. That's not the same thing. It was like a single targeted event. They didn't come here with guns. And what did you do to them? You put them in the hospital, right? It's kind of a fair sign message that you don't fuck around, right?
It sounds fair to me, but there are always going to be those stupid people that don't listen to the leaders and go off and do their own thing.
But what exactly do they do then when the leaders say, oh, we got 4 of our guys in hospital? What are we going to do? Well, let's send everybody out there and start shooting up the club with somebody who put 4 guys in the hospital. Does that sound like a sane kind of idea? Does that sound like
I feel like the leaders told them not to do it, and some people gathered around and still did it.
Well, do you look at us? Do you think any of us just decide to go off willing, like half cocked and shit? I mean, I know that you do, but do you think the rest of us do?
No.
So exactly. So there's got to be some kind of structure. There's a moment when Patty bangs the gavel on this a couple times. Okay, listen. I'm not saying that what has happened here has basically been an isolated incident, or maybe it's connected. What I am concerned about is that this shows that our relationship with the Vipers is clearly dissolved. But we can't have that. You all understand that? Where it kind of gets a little bit quiet.
So we have to kind of fix it?
She looks at Deacon and just basically says, Deacon, what are the numbers looking like? Basically, with the Vipers relationship dissolved, we lose a small amount of income that we do have to allocate when it comes to like bike servicing, and when we also have like a bunch of like basically we lose a pretty big portion of our actual control, and also we do lose actual people to watch us during the night. Basically, we lose a pretty substantial human ally in that. Look, I'm not saying it was perfect, but I'm just saying we do lose some pretty important resources. There's a moment when Patty looks at Dole and Roman and says, do either of you think that there's any way that we could potentially salvage this? Dole looks, because he kind of works a lot when it comes to like security stuff, and Dole says, well, I mean, we've basically put it in their place, like constantly when it comes to like if they try to show us any kind of force. We had it with multiple instances with you, Gertie. We've shown them basically that if they fuck around, they're going to find out. And there's no real reason for them to try to muscle in on us or try to put any force on us. What is difficult is figuring out how we could leverage the idea of reconnecting or reestablishing something. It would be hard, but it's not impossible. Roman says, I think it's important for us to remember that this all came from somewhere. So if we do actually desire to reconnect with everybody and have an actual relationship with the Vipers, we need to be able to actually figure out exactly why they had done what they did. It's important for us to remember that. I think it's... Yeah.
Sorry, I just had a thought of the one guy that we, like, how do we know there were Vipers?
There's a moment when there's a moment when Beverly speaks or no, when Ivy says, some
Sorry, I was
Nelson,
asleep.
well, Nelson like took one of them out and we pulled him inside and we were able to check out and he's got a Viper cut, like he was
Viper
wearing it.
cut. But that doesn't necessarily make him a Viper. Anybody can mimic any of our cuts.
It's a moment when Nelson kind of looks back and says, "What do you think that he was like? Some other just random guy, just like..."
Well, we know, like, I personally don't know exactly what every single Viper crew member looks like, but did anybody take a good look at his face to see if they recognized him from the Vipers?
So unfortunately, I blew his face off.
Shit.
I pulled out the muzzle loader, and that Lux just kind of goes,
Nice.
"Fucking did." Yeah, there's a moment when even Lux goes like, "Fuck yeah." Yeah.
Deserved.
Every single person just that is there, they all kind of like have that moment of like bestial kind of like, "Yeah, he did." Yeah.
Nice. But
Just respect.
have we
Yeah.
ever considered, I don't know, grabbing his prints or finding out if he is even part of the Vipers?
Well, we had to get rid of the body, especially because if we didn't do that, the police were going to be trying to look for him. So it was kind of like we just disposed of that. We turned the bike apart. It's going to be, you know what? Let me make a check here. Okay.
I may be dumb, but I got one intelligence.
Here's what I'll
Three
say.
shots.
If you want to press the issue, you can use one of your will powers for a reroll here. For this roll in particular.
Sure.
Okay, so you press the issue, keeping on this course of saying, you know, did anybody look at this? Did anybody check anything out? That's 5 successes with a crit. There's a moment where there's a moment when Beverly speaks up here and goes, "It's interesting. You know, darling, it's interesting you mention that. One of the things that happened, because when we stripped down the vehicle, when we stripped down the motorcycle, the bike itself, like, Vipers move fast. They move quick.
Yeah, I know. I got one of their bikes once. I mean,
Yeah, no, we know.
yeah.
And you brought it in, and we had to take it back, but it rode smooth. Like, it's a slick ride. And this one was all gas. This one was all gas. Like it was a burner. It was basically like just like repping it. It hummed. It was loud. Like Price, I mean, if I may, Price had spoken about how loud it was, and it woke him up immediately. That's a good catch, darling. That's a good catch.
It just seems weird how I can take 3 of them out. 4 of them? I don't even fucking remember that.
4.
4. Alright. But that they'd have such an aggressive attack. I mean, if they want me to put them in the hospital again, I will, but I don't know. It feels like something that they just seems weird. Just, you know, I don't know what else to put it. Just intuition, I guess.
So, at this moment, Patty goes, "Okay, so how's this?" At first, I was going to pose up a motion to see if anybody wanted to vote on the idea of dissolving our relationship with the Vipers. Then I was going to suggest that maybe we could discuss about potentially fixing the relationship. Now I want to ask if there's anyone in favor of wanting to actually engage with investigating this particular line and see if the Vipers were actually involved. Do we have a first for the motion? It's around the table.
So like, in motion for the first point, the second point, and the third.
The third point. She
the third
moved to the
point.
third of like investigating. Do we have a first?
And I feel like, yeah.
Okay.
'Cause
Second, Beverly puts her hand up. All in favor? Everybody except Lux puts his hand up.
I'm just gonna. I gotta hear this. What, man?
Just go ahead and make an intelligence and occult roll for me, please.
It's a win.
Success?
Yeah.
Great. It's 1. Truly it is just a 1. So
That's good to know.
Lux is a Bruja. Like he is tied to rebellion. So kind of the thing for him is like it's not
Everyone's agreeing. Not me.
it's a hard
He's a
thing
fucking
like
hipster.
so Lux has a thing.
APT.
Lux has the thing where, like, when everybody is in the vastest majority, he does go against the grain, if only because it's like a necessity for himself to rebel, kind of thing.
So in a way, this could even be seen as like, he does probably agree, but
Yeah.
he physically cannot agree.
It is only ever a problem if people put in like for Lux to be the proxy vote, and like for example, if there was a lot of people absent from the clubhouse and this did not have a majority, and a lot of people gave like the vote ahead of time for like again, if the idea was do we dissolve the situation with the Vipers, and everybody told Lux yes, then it would basically be like done. It would basically be like they would give Lux the vote and the heads up, and it would basically be like that could be the deciding factor. So it's very important, but Lux does have that. So it's not like a let's fucking hear this. It's like you've seen this before. It's
Okay, so I'm like,
it's just his nature.
When Patty says
Patty.
all in favor and Lux doesn't put up her hand, she doesn't bat an eye.
He
She's like,
will also like on unless he brings up a subject, he will also not usually be the first or the second. He will usually be the person that will like be the first on his own motions. Yeah, so that's his
okay,
thing.
so I'm just like, I'm just gonna give him a look like, buddy, but I'm
He just kind of gives you a look like
yeah.
wasn't awake for it.
Including in the investigation. I mean, I wasn't awake for it either, but like part of the investigation, I kind of, Patty, if I may,
Yes, of course. Like you want to bring something up? We recognize you here, Gertie.
because if they're not the Vipers, that clearly, if in the end they're not the Viper, that clearly means that somebody is trying to get us not to be involved with the Vipers and wants to create a rift between us, and that could possibly potentially pose a threat. And I also would love to be part of this investigation so I can throttle their fucking necks. That'd be great. Thanks.
You see like Dole and you see Beverly kind of like looking at you a little bit. Like everybody kind of like, yeah, okay. Some of them, like keeping themselves. Roman doesn't, just kind of like look at a soft nod. But there's a moment when Patty speaks up to this and is like, unfortunately, Gertie, we do have to talk about something else before you can sign off on doing this.
Right, the thing you told me to think about that I didn't really think about. Yeah.
And what was that thing that I told you to think about that you didn't really think about?
I didn't say nothing. Nothing. You have the floor.
Thank you for giving me the floor. As
Yeah.
president, I take the floor now. So what I want to address here is that Gertie was actually brought a proposition.
Bullshit proposition.
I have the floor now. There is a moment where last night, as we have talked about, an individual had come through here. We believe they were Kindred to basically bring Gertie into Elysium. Where essentially Gertie will be in attendance to be meeting with this person in Camarilla territory.
Walmart.
Everybody looks at you like everybody's like
The Camarilla shops
Elysium-
at Walmart.
Elysium is at Walmart?
Alcium.
What?
The Alcium.
Elysium.
Alcium.
Aluminium.
Alcium.
There's like
Alice
what?
in Wonderland.
The Alsum wanted me to meet from, like, the guy that I talked to, the other investigator guy, said Walmart. Yeah.
They all look at Patty and Lux. They're like, is Walmart under Camarilla control? is that what's happening?
Would
Can you imagine
explain
all
a lot.
looking at
Thank you.
Patty and then Lux and Patty like, you having a fucking stroke?
Can you go ahead and just roll a composure and a fucking persuasion check for me, please?
Oh, but where's my persuasion? 0. Okay, but my composure is 2. Oh, and that's both blood dice. Okay. That's a fail.
Is it a bad fail?
Straight fail.
Just
Great,
straight fail.
great. No one, everybody's just like, what? It's like, it's
you can't-
Elysium, first of all. And
Yeah, Elysium.
no. Everyone's like, oh my god.
I don't
Lux
give a
is
fuck
so
you
it's
guys are
like,
looking at
okay,
me
can
though.
we please, can the
But it's
president please have the
Elysium
floor?
In Walmart.
President, can you please exercise your duty to hold the floor, please? I, as vice president, move you hold the floor to talk about this.
Lux, I don't know why the fuck you're trying to overtalk here. I'm trying to state facts, and it's Elysium in Walmart.
Deacon is just like, I have not ever, like, I gotta say, there's no way that Cabaret has Elysium.
Somewhere.
Be that as it may, Patty continues. Patty goes, as you will do this for 10 minutes. Patty says, so it's not, Elysium is not there. It's actually at Chateau Lacombe.
No.
My assumption is that they are using this particular address for Walmart, as it's going to basically be where they pick her up. So she drives there, and then she's picked up at a secondary location, or taken to a secondary location.
Never go to a secondary location.
Everybody's just
Sister, you ain't getting me to no secondary location. Sorry.
no. Don't apologize. That's literally what we were when you guys were talking about it last session. I was just like, shit. You guys are right.
Miss President. Sorry.
Thank you, Nelson. So
What? Sorry, why do you like Virgin Mary right now?
you do. Just get me up to Bethlehem, Joseph. There's you really do. It's fucking perfect.
Sorry.
And you got the Bill and Ted shirt. That's perfect.
Yeah.
You do see at that moment, like, Patty goes in and it's like, this invite has just been directed for Gertie, which makes me very concerned. It makes me concerned because, Gertie, I do believe that whatever reason they have for inviting you to this, it is exclusively to envelop you in something you are not involved in right now.
Why would I want to be involved in something that's not something to do with here?
Lux says, you don't have a choice, kiddo.
I have a fucking choice if I want to be part of here or somewhere else. I don't fucking want to do anything else. What do you mean I don't have a choice?
Everybody kind of gets a little silent. Patty says, Gertie, I had requested before for you to do a research basically into current Kindred activities.
Yeah.
To understand a little bit more about what is going on in the city.
Yeah.
We have basically been cut out of any ties with Camarilla, Anarch, any kind of like Edmonton activities when it comes to the Kindred for a while. I prioritize your safety above all else in this. There is a responsibility that we hold to the Kennel, and that is to make sure that we are aware of what is going on at all times. And my tasking of you, and I must own responsibility of this, I did not know that I was going to get you into the eyes of someone who seems to have ties to the Camarilla and has now put some kind of, like, giving you this invitation. I did not know that that was a possibility. That being said, it's unavoidable to know that now Gertie is at least known by this person, if not all of us, at least Gertie. And having a Camarilla individual being wise to your presence and wise to who you are and where you are basically keeping in your haven is a bad, bad, bad thing, especially in this city.
Can't I just say no and it be done with? Why are they so persistent?
Don't know. And Dole kind of looks at you and says, it's kind of the situation as to what we're trying to figure out. Nelson says, it seems like whatever it is that they're wanting, they seem to want you for some particular reason, and we don't know what that is.
What if it's just like a job? What if I just do a job for them and then they leave me alone? And then you guys have some one up on them, like a favor they gotta owe to the group, something like that. How bad could it really be?
Make an insight check and a resolve check on Patty.
That is 3 successes and a skull, but I guess it doesn't really count.
We'll see. 3.
Tree?
You succeed.
Huzzah!
You can read in Patty's eyes a severity here. You see she stares hard through you, and it's like this moment of like a clear connection where it's almost like you feel yourself sharing years of hardship. She says to you, this is a world that you are not a part of, and none of us are a part of. Really. But it seems like you're getting pulled into it. Gertie, we know you're wise to the take on this, and we know you're aware of like our own existence, and with the semblance of the full, like you know, the Masquerade.
Yeah, to a certain degree, yeah.
The Masquerade is essentially something that the Camarilla holds tremendously, tremendous power over. The ones who usually dictate it, or the ones who established it for a long time. They're the ones who hold the most power over that. Some of us were mostly kind of like unbound in this space. We're not tied to Anarchs. We're not tied to the Camarilla at all. But you'd also notice a moment there with Lux. He kind of shifts in his chair when she utters that. Something Patty's not necessarily telling the truth on there. But I gotta be honest. At first I was concerned about this, but the more I thought about it, the more I'm thinking, Gertie, that this invitation I think is something that you might need to actually make good on.
And why is that? What if I don't? What would happen to you guys?
We don't know. We don't know. We don't know, and that's the point. We don't know who these people are. Like Lux, you had said this person sought out Gertie. Do you know anything about this person at all? Anything?
Me?
Yes, you. Do you know anything about this person, Gertie?
No, I only met him twice. The only time he saw interest in me is when I was almost turned into like a beast, and he was trying to like tell me to sit, and I wouldn't sit. What a fucking loser!
You just hear Liv like fucking cunt, like just like
Yeah, he was just like he kept telling me like to sit and obey him, and I just wouldn't, and he looked at me like I was some fucking weird phenomenon.
Deacon goes, "Oh, girl."
Yeah. I was not gonna let him tell me what the fuck to do.
No. You need to basically 2 meetings with this guy, and if he can't leverage control over you, that's exactly why you need to also be the person to see him. You need to be able to meet this person, because if he knows that about you, then he wants to meet you to probably talk about some terms, probably talk about something else. And we wanted to know exactly what's going on, what activity is going through. We want you basically to go and to make these connections, to find out exactly what is going on.
You do realize like me connections with people would probably punch his teeth in.
I know I'm asking you not to do that. I need you, Gertie, to be able to do this. We all do. But that being said, I don't want you to do this alone. I'm speaking for Price right now. Price had given me information regarding the last, basically, task that we'd set out for all of you, and expressed and told us that you had experienced a frenzy of terror. And I don't want Gertie to be put in that position. So, we will have a vote regarding this to have you to talk about you actually going, but we will also be asking for someone here essentially to be with you in this moment,
Fuck no.
protect you.
No, if it's so dangerous and this guy has some kind of ability or whatever, I'm not going to sacrifice or potentially put any of you guys in harm's way. That's not fucking happening. No. Not happening. I fucking refuse.
There's going to be a social combat roll between you and Patty right now.
My social comments fucking sucks dick.
This is gonna be wow.
Me. Roll one dice.
So she's gonna be doing composure and leadership in this moment.
Yeah.
This is her highest ability in terms of a taskmastership. She's rolling 8 dice.
What do we?
I need you to roll. This is gonna be your. I'm gonna say either composure or charisma, but you're gonna put intimidation. We're gonna have you do intimidation.
Oh, nice. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7.
You're rolling against Patty with 8 dice. Let's see how this goes.
Gertie. Oh.
You want to use a
Yeah.
You want to use a willpower to reroll?
Success.
You want to use a willpower to reroll? Ooh, that hurts. No success. One success.
Let's not cheer for her.
Boo.
Okay, 2, 4. So this is what? So 4 successes.
4 successes.
Yeah.
Patty rolled 4. You, and I will say, she rolled a 10 on her hunger, but did not crit.
I also roll a 10 on my non-hunger though.
No, she rolled on her hunger,
Oh.
but she did not crit. There's a moment when you say you fucking refuse. The room is silent. So Patty is a touchstone of yours. You are engaging right now in a moment where you are not even questioning, but speaking up against her desire. This is a very big moment for you. So, Gertie.
Yes.
You guys have matched at this moment. So social combat has engaged. But this is a lot. And so what happens is she just is trying to softly usher in and try to find somebody, but you get control. So what exactly are you setting up here? You have control of the room. What do you say? Because you just said, and I'll remind you, you said that nobody else, I'm not going to sacrifice anybody, I fucking refuse. What do you then take with it? What do you say?
Anyways, there's no way that I'm gonna take somebody where he can use them as leverage against me because I can supposedly refuse this man, right? But if they use anybody from one of us, I don't think I'd be able to resist them. I don't know if I'd have the strength to resist them of putting somebody here in harm's way. I fucking refuse.
Patty says, Gertie, everyone here is capable. You are not the only capable member of this crew. There are other members here who are capable of being able to stand up against that kind of power. And we will make sure that those individuals can be there.
Yeah, and even if they, can do that, that doesn't mean that they won't try to harm somebody to still get the same effect.
Okay. I will let you choose. You can choose either persuasion or streetwise on this. And I'm gonna say
I have a streetwise, but specifically gangs. Does this count? Because we're kind of a gang.
this will well. This is your knowledge of the gang. Like, and I will say, if you want to leverage that, you can. Because this, like, mostly that is understanding gang activity, but this is your gang.
Gang.
Okay. This would I will allow you to use that extra die for this one thing, and it's gonna be resolved because you are focusing in on this moment.
And also resolve. So that's 5.
So you're gonna be doing resolve, and you're gonna be doing streetwise and gangs. But if you add that extra 1, I will let you know that should you succeed on this, it will be an additional point of damage against Patty's willpower. I'm just letting you know that if you want to leverage your knowledge on the gang. I'm letting you just know this right now. This social combat is pretty big because this is you potentially saving the lives of your crew, but you are speaking out against your president.
Because I care about her. The only time I ever speak against Patty is because I care about her.
No, but this is kind of a moment where she cares about you too, and she's fighting you on this.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay, you're gonna leverage.
My blood is boiling. You know, like
she is going. She is going to. She's not going to use leadership here. She's actually gonna. She's going to use composure, but she's using intimidation, which is not a. She's only got 1 in intimidation.
Okay, so I got 7 dice. Come on, please.
Okay, here we go.
Need work. Yeah. Okay, that is. Oh shit! That's what is that called when I roll a messy critical? So that's 2, 4, 5. I got 5. And but it's a messy critical. Crit, yeah.
Okay. I will let you know. Patty got 1. But here's the situation, and I will let you know. You can also, if you want to, use a willpower to re-roll dice that are like messy criticals. If you want to, you can re-roll any one of your dice if you want to. But if you want to succeed, you want to succeed.
I want to succeed because of the fact that it kind of makes sense for it to be messy crit because I'm still angry. Because Gertie is angry right now about what happened, and she is very passionate, and I feel like she's kind of getting a little, like, losing control of herself a little bit.
Yeah.
So it just kind of makes sense to keep it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Fuck, this is awesome. So here's what's gonna happen. You beat her by 4. And I said you were gonna beat her by another 1 in terms of this. She takes aggravated willpower damage because you have questioned her. She has, I'm not going to tell you how much she has left, but she can still communicate in this moment. Here's what's happening. I need you now to tell me and leverage your power against the crew and like leverage your power of the crew. What do you know about them? What do you say to get this thing up? What do you know about everybody at this table right now? Mm-hmm. I can give you little pointers if you want to know.
Me?
Roman,
gay.
You're gay.
Roman's gay.
You like fucking
No, we're African American.
And proud of it.
I
No,
didn't-
you're a proud man.
We all
And-
have
and the truth-
expressions.
But what do you use in terms of your knowledge, especially when it comes to the kindred powers of your allies, and what do you know about them? Hell, if you want to just concoct it and make it for what you know for these people yourself, take it. I can remind you. I can remind you of their stations. You can tell me a person, and I can give you like what they are.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna start off with somebody really easy. I'm gonna start off with Beverly. Beth.
Beverly. Okay, I'll give you this reference card because it gives you types and stuff like that when it comes to like disciplines and such. And then there's a little discipline key chart if you want. Beverly.
Yeah, Beth.
Beverly is a Toreador.
Yeah.
Specifically, very much a very sensuous, beautiful woman who has a lot of encounters and passions with a lot of people. I'm gonna let you have a second to look over that.
I'll read this. Like, there's a song. I wanted to put that in the group chat.
Yes.
But I don't have to take a picture of it yet.
Just add
Group
your
chat.
Wait,
Group
yeah,
chat. Group chat.
Check the game. Pick Gertie.
Okay.
Shit, I wasn't paying. He was distracting me.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I just had to go back for a second. Yes.
Do you like his drawing?
It's a very good drawing.
It is.
It's a very good pick.
It's like a kamehameha. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Okay. So what do you do? Beverly, Torador.
Okay, what? Celerity?
Yeah, celerity is like fast speed reflexes.
Oh, sick. And I was just like, okay, cool. And so I'm just like, Bev.
You look at Bev, and Beverly looks at you like, oh, you're getting me in this?
Improv.
Thanks for improv. And just like, Bev, like, imagine if this happened to you or whatever, and somebody was like up in your business and everything, but not in the way that you like, that I know that you like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I like people up in my business.
this is right, but if someone came up to you in your own business, right? Wouldn't you kind of want to take care of it yourself?
Yeah, honey. No, I
Yeah.
would.
Right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want any other person to like help you out in that way. Like if a guy grabbed your ass, but he was ugly, and he also was gross and he smelled. You know what I mean?
I'm pulling that hand way back.
Yeah. Do you think that you need like, fucking like?
I'm gonna grab his like right in his crotch and be like, "How you like that?"
Yeah, but like squeeze it extra hard. You know?
I'm gonna pop them balls right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You
Mhm.
know for a fact that you would take care of it yourself. You wouldn't want one of us to jump in because it's like it's almost like you couldn't protect yourself, but we know you can. But you know we got your back at the end of the day. But you don't. We know that we're here at home base for you, but you can take care of yourself.
Absolutely. There's a moment where you don't hear this, where Patty just says, "Gertie," and you keep going. Who do you pick out next?
Roman.
Roman.
Get it.
And Roman is
Get it.
A gay man.
Gay Nosferatu.
Gay
Yeah.
icon. No, that's not
God.
Nosferatu.
He is a Nosferatu. He's a Nosferatu.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's-
Very. Yeah.
That might
Like the movie.
It almost looks like I wrote
Yeah.
Sriracha. I was like, I don't fucking know.
I like how you say it. That's how you spell it, and you're like the movie. It's like, but how do you spell it? And yeah, and if you need to know things about Roman, can.
Okay. Very animalism and like right?
Well, he's more on the obfuscate side. He's more of a sneaky person, but he does also embrace the animalistic energy as well.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the color.
Right? And then I'm just looking at Roman. You know, like if I was to go out there and get information to bring back, I know that you would be able to do some like uncover shit. You know what I mean? But like if you were to come with me, then people are going to know who you are. You're not going to be able to do the things that you love to do. That's the reason and the importance that you are in this group. You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is if I can get information back for you, you can continue to love what you do, and also find information about people who don't know about you. Which I know you love. I know you love knowing shit that other people don't know about and don't know you. Yeah. I know you.
He just gets a smirk on his face.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
He's short and sweet, and
Another-
I'm just like, and also,
Another time, Gertie.
Yeah.
Keep going.
and then. I'm not touching Lux with a 50-foot pole. That one is going to be hard to get on my side.
That's gonna be.
Yeah,
I know you love knowing shit. That's great. Put that on a t-shirt.
I love you, no. Hey, Nosferatu are literally like literal hackers types. Like they literally are knowledge folks. They dive into that. They are meant to like learn the secrets of people. I know you love knowing shit.
I
It's
know
not
you
a
love
bad
knowing shit that
call.
People don't know that you know that.
Yeah.
That's why I know you love
Very fair.
knowing that.
But
I love it.
yeah, I'm kind of going for the ones that I know that I kind of
Yeah.
connected most with, and I'd be like, and then I go to Ivy. And I'd be
Ivy.
like, yeah, and I'd be like, and if you were with me, Ivy, I know that no matter what, if something were to happen to me, you would be right beside me, helping me out. I do know that. However, I also know that you have such a kind and big heart that you would, instead of letting me help, you would sacrifice yourself. And I love you dearly, but that kind of kind-heartedness is a little bit hard when I'm on a mission like that, where we don't know what's out there. And if you saw anybody else in pain or suffering, it would be hard for you to step away, and I would never want you to go through that type of trauma.
She just gives you a smile. She, like,
And I know you've seen stuff, and I know that you're smart, and I know that you were very strong, and you're a very strong individual, and you could handle anything out there. But why handle stuff that you don't need to go out and do, you know? And I know that if I ever come back again, also, with an injury, I know that you'll be here to help me. Patch me right back up. But I don't want you to be put in harm's way, you know?
she smiles back at you.
I'm just like, huzzah.
It was 2 more.
Rise from the...
2 more.
2 more, Jesus.
You got 5 on her. You beat her by 5.
5 people, Jesus. Ah. All right. What's a bruja? Bruja.
Like rebel, like Lux, right?
Yeah. I'm coming right for Deacon. Can I get a
Yeah,
couple-
Deacon. Yeah, absolutely.
Can I get a little information on Deacon?
Yeah, so he's a bruja. He is kind of like he's a mover and shaker when it comes to like kind of a lot of like day-to-day operation stuff. He's keeping track of a lot of numbers and stuff, while Roman likes to know what he knows. He keeps a lot of close to the chest, and he's part of the nomad group. He's not connected so much to the business end of this. That's what Deacon does. He's a bruja, but like a lot of what he does is like kind of building up, like he's about the groundwork man. He builds up the house kind of thing. You're talking about protecting the house. He's the one who kind of helps to build up a lot of that stuff with Patty and kind of like organize things. Very well connected, very social, very strong. Like he's a strong man, similar to Dole. He's got a little bit of that presence energy, but yeah, he's also pretty strong.
And I'd be like, and you Deacon, you help out so much with the club here that it would literally break my heart to take somebody so important away, because you have your strength, you have your smarts, and you are one of the key foundation pieces. We all have our own part to play, but you're one of the key foundation places of keeping the ground level here, and it'd be hard to take you away after such tragedy has just recently struck us. Short and sweet.
I mean, I wasn't even going to offer my name in for going for that, because I wasn't going to go anywhere.
So, but I just wanted to let you know I wasn't.
I appreciate it.
I wasn't even just offering
I
that
appreciate
in
it.
general.
I want to let you know that I
out.
just wasn't going to be going, and he's going to laugh with that, and you hear Patty,
It's like,
and you hear Patty go
buddy.
Deacon, and he listens, but you are still on with one.
Buddy, one more, and then I'm gonna go for
5 successes.
a Nelson.
Go for Nelson.
I'm going Nelson.
For Nelson, yeah.
Give me more about Nelson.
Nelson
I need to learn about people.
is a member of the Nomads, and he himself he's a gangrel, similar to yourself, but he's not of like he's not really part of the collar. Really, he inherited being a gangrel. His father was his sire was his father. He came into this because his dad brought him in, but like he's proven a lot of worth, like for a lot of his own, he's proven himself. His dad was a very volatile vampire, very aggressive, and like his aggression was very angry. He was carrying a lot of like the shit that came on for a lot of like his own family at the hands of vampires, because essentially what happened with like Nelson's dad is his whole family wasn't like embraced by vampires. They were wiped out, like wiped out by like Kindred, and it was kind of the thing of like, you got a choice. You can try to go back into humanity and you go civilization, or you can kind of embrace you. And it was basically that idea that you're in a corner your entire life, and that was what his dad had. And then Nelson carried that over. Nelson is not in that. He's not in a corner. He doesn't even like to stay. It's rare to see him staying here. That's kind of why I was like, it was a lucky thing that Nelson was here as a second. He's a man of like, he travels around completely around Alberta. He is free most of the time from everybody else. He has the duties to the collar, but they're his own kind of responsibilities. And it's been mostly kind of like yourself, where it's like this acceptance of that. He's a survivalist. He's very capable in survivalism. He's animalism. He's very connected with like a lot of beast energy. He's kind of the thing where it's like he can open up like his animalism and be like strong, and his potence is also very strong, but he's also very intelligent, very wise, but it comes from a lot of family history.
I'd be like, And then Nelson, buddy. My other gangrel. I cannot speak today.
Gringo?
Gringo.
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 Oh, honey. Nelson looks at you.
Let's get
Ivy's like mixing like
aluminum.
wow.
I'd be like, I think I hit my head yesterday. I'm also incredibly just, I can't speak because I'm so fucking furious. That is what I'm going with. That kind of stuff. Anyways, buddy, you just like the freedom that you have. Buddy, I'll pack out.
2 ginghams in aluminium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love my character. Anyways, it's fucking so tough.
We all do.
Gango style.
That's the thing. It's like she doesn't really care about like the names, so she probably doesn't even really know how to speak her own fucking.
You got it, yeah.
Yes.
What do you say?
Like
It's
Gandalf.
just like-
What do you say?
And I'm like, and I'd hate for you to come with me and tie you down to a place where you're so free. You're somebody who likes to travel and likes to go do stuff, and even though that you still care and love for this place deeply, you thrive in that type of freedom. And if you were to be exposed to whatever the fuck I'm about to go through, you might not be able to have that type of freedom, and it would be such a dick move for me to just take that away from you and strip something that is such a huge part of you. So I think the fuck not. Even though I know that you would never offer it either, but you know, I care about each and every one of you, no matter if y'all don't care for me as much. And I know you guys care. Don't get me wrong. I know you guys care for me, but I also know you guys have your own qualms with me sometimes. Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be fucking real here, guys. Yeah. I'm not that stupid.
There's a moment when Patty cuts in. It's like, Gertie.
Yeah.
You hear it this time. He says, so then what do you propose? What do you say about this?
I say that in order to protect the home, I'm gonna go in by myself. Or we can find someone outside the group to go with me.
How do you propose getting transportation for this by yourself? I don't think any of us are comfortable with you taking a bike or anything. And there's a moment where Roman even chimes in and says, and unfortunately, any kind of like Ubers or vehicles that are like Kindred safe are also marked. Like those go into Camarilla databases and they know exactly where they're going.
Not all Kindred safe vehicles. Wasn't there that detective dude? What was his name? What was his fucking name? Dennis. No, that's not it.
So
But he drove. Remember, he has like these dark tinted windows. He drove with that psychology chick.
So you're proposing then that you're going to go to Elysium with these people?
I mean, maybe.
Well, we need a definite answer here, Gertie.
Like maybe as in, how would I go without checking in with them first to see if they even want to fucking come? Just saying. But like, yet like the other day,
Gertie.
he and I were ended up drinking, and I was just like,
Gertie!
yes.
If you're going alone and you have a ride allocated, I highly advise that you can capitalize on that unless you have another solution, but I do not feel comfortable if you have shared that you don't want to involve us in this. I don't feel comfortable with then you not having a plan of attack on this.
I have a plan. Go there, find shit out, and half naked, attack.
I need you to make a charisma. And I'm going to say, oh God, that is, that's gotta be, I don't know how to put it. Is that a fucking performance? Is that like, it's just like so blasé. Is that
Leadership? Intimidation.
I mean, you're just being so casual with it. I
Composure.
kind of think it's intimidation. I think it's charisma, but intimidation. I think that is it. And I'm gonna say Patty is not doing well.
So intimidation and charisma.
Yeah.
Or composure. Oh, charisma, and so 5.
Charisma and intimidation. She's gonna roll. You know what? I don't know what she's gonna do. I don't know what she's gonna do. Go ahead and roll. Just go ahead and roll.
Cry, maybe?
That's a 1 success. So I'm gonna do 1 more willpower.
Okay.
Reroll all those.
And reroll onto purples. Oh, that's 3 successes.
3 successes.
I'll have my Gertie home by 11.
I think all I can do for her.
I haven't even gone to my first therapist session. I have so much
So
to tell you.
so that was a messy critical as well.
One time before, but yeah.
She's going to.
Eight.
You know what?
The album.
She is going to simply roll a wits and insight check on you.
Oh, I'm holding firm. Actually, I can't make contact.
She's gonna just roll that. It's not a high roll, but she's gonna roll it.
I wish you would.
And I'm gonna roll a rouse check for herself. It's a success.
God, because I do not want her going too pissed off.
She's going to do a blood surge to increase her dice amount. I think she gets 7 on them.
Jesus, calm down, Patty.
And she gets 2 successes.
Oh, I'm real clear.
She doesn't even understand what it is in you that is compelling, like compelling you to do this right now. She's just trying to get it.
Because I never say no to her.
She has never seen this side of you before.
You were so worried about social combat. You're doing better at this than you did any of the physics
Yeah.
stuff you've done.
Yeah. Hands down.
Gertie has 1 willpower left before she loses face. And I will, Patty, thank you. Patty has 1. So this is the thing. If she does, that is a major question of leadership. She is going to simply state, because she does not know what's going on, because this is successful. Like, you have a plan, you're going to do it. And all she says is, do we have a first on the motion to allow for Gertie to handle going to Elysium on her own? We have a second. Nobody else puts up their hand for a moment. There are people who want to.
I look him in the eye.
Who do you look in the eye?
Start off with that Beverly.
She's looking at you.
I'd say that.
I want you to make a quick wits insight check, please.
Jesus.
Imagine if Lux seconded.
No,
I was like,
no.
She looks at Lux.
No, I literally was like, I was going to it, and I was like, that's the stupidest thing I could probably have fucking done. But so I was like, no, thank you. 2 successes.
Look at Patty. Patty seconds.
Patty?
Patty?
Beverly critically fails. You see her sign of obsession goes to the most beautiful thing she possibly can. And she looks at Patty. You see as she looks at you and immediately glances over to Patty. You look at Deacon. He looks at Patty.
Good. Well, can't have her lose her.
You look at everyone and they look to Patty.
And then I look at Patty.
And she raises her hand after a moment. And in that moment in the insight, you realize, and I'm going to let you know, this keeps you away from another major stain, because you're going to get some stains already. You know, if you had failed that insight, you would have been so caught in your own success of this moment that you would have automatically lost to humanity because you would not have been caring about the one thing that is important. Patty is the kennel mother of this crew. She is the president. She needs to be able to sign off on this in particular. It is a bold choice to have the person you embraced to question your authority and to question your rules and to bring this up.
At the end of the day, though, it's for her.
And she goes all in favor, and everybody but Lux puts up their hand.
This time I'm just like, buddy, come on.
And there's a moment in Lux where he looks at you, and the look is no longer like, I wasn't up. This is a different look at your eyes.
And I'm just like,
This is the kind of look of something you've never seen in Lux before. No.
I like we're both like, no, absolutely not.
Something
No.
something that you've never seen ever in Lux, and you literally cannot put in word to it. But he looks at you. And with that, we're gonna have to end our session on that. I really was thinking we were gonna get shit with you guys today. I don't know what the fuck else to end it on. But before we resolve, you guys are going to be present for one bit of little bookkeeping, because, again, we're learning this.
I was just like, oh, I know.
Holy shit.
Was it contempt? Was the look Lux was giving her contempt? Was it
I-
contempt?
Even on a two insight, you wouldn't know. It's big.
Like my personal
Okay.
thought process here is I truly think that he's just like, he's over here almost thinking like, he's like, whoa now, like steady, like kind of like you're
So-
kind of pushing it, kind of.
There's a part of me that also wonders if there's a level of panic because of the shift earlier. When Patty said we have no connections, and he had that weird shift that you realized, and having like a level of whatever
So-
that is.
And he knows more. 'Cause
Yeah.
He didn't tell me. He went straight to Patty, and he lied to me about Patty about because I was drunk, but I was like, "Where's Patty?" And he's just like, "Oh, I don't know where she is," and he goes directly to her. I'm just like, you old ass bitch, lying ass.
So the situation basically is damage modifiers for social combat are representative of like of people around you, your social spheres, basically. Because you guys were in basically kindred who respect you, basically. Like, you guys weren't in a socially important figure. Like, yes, you were more in that socially important figure space, but like, you guys were not at the top of like princesses and barons, basically. However, it was all aggravated damage she was taking to her willpower because you were basically attacking your touchstone and a close friend, as opposed to just like slights. So basically, yeah, she avoided impairment so she can actually fully function to do her jobs, but she had to concede basically. But she also had to have that control. So here, okay, so I have to look at damaging a touchstone because that is holy shit. Because what is your, because you have a conviction too with Patty, and what is it?
No, it's just I'll always provide for the home and I'll always protect animals, but my touchstone is Patty.
Yeah, so this was affecting a touchstone.
And then under backgrounds, merit, and flaws, my contact is Patty. But I also have herd, which is for the drive and dive, bonding, which is the hard to bond stuff.
I just need.
Oh, and my Mala. My Mala?
Maula.
Mala is Patty.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that is, but
Mala is basically like a powerful entity, like a vampiric kind of nature. It's the idea of a contact, but a vampire. Contacts are usually human types and all that kind of stuff. But Patty's a special example.
the only reason I did this, Patty, was for the group, but also
Game's over. You're not talking to Patty.
No, I just
There is no Patty. This is all pretend.
no, Patty.
If it's pretend, why does it feel so real?
I did this all for you.
Oh my
even though it
god,
doesn't
where do
feel
I
like it.
where do I find
Even
where-
if everyone's like, should she be the leader? Me? No, Patty is the
Yeah.
leader. No.
Thank you.
It specifically talks about
Damaging a touchstone?
Yeah, it says if the stains or damage to touchstone, mark the stain with just the like single cross through your humanity. And so yeah, basically it's however many.
Okay, here we go. Stains. Thank you. Thank you. That is exactly what I was looking for. Damaging touchstones is what I need to see. So this was a concept of a touchstone damaged by your actions. That's 2 stains, and with a messy critical, it's gonna gain 1 more stain on that. So that was a 3 stain combat encounter for you.
And yeah, so you do the little marks.
further.
Yeah, so you cross them off. Here's the thing: at the end of the session, we immediately roll for humanity. So I said the session's over, but we have 1 more roll.
We're done.
How many? So how many dice? How many boxes are covered in humanity, basically?
3. But
3.
like ones that are not shaded.
Yeah.
3. But the ones that are shaded.
Do you have no unshaded dice?
No. See, they're all.
Yeah, no, because it was 7 humanity and
Okay.
then 3 stains.
So I need you. You only get to roll 1 die then.
What?
You only get to roll 1 die.
And it's a blood die.
It's one. No, it's just 1 dice, and I'm just letting you know. So this is what we're doing now. Is called remorse. This is the idea of like now after that experience, like, and we'll talk about it after.
that's
But we're gonna roll the success. See if the succeeds or fails now. You are basically. It's just you gotta.
No, I failed.
Gertie, your humanity goes down to 6.
What? Shit. Can I reroll again?
No.
Can I go back in time?
No, absolutely not.
Fuck.
Have you built a time machine? Yes.
I'll be outside the window. Choose another dog. Get one of them to get the other people who are all for you. For the love of God.
Holy shit.
I
Who would have thought
don't regret it.
our
damn
second
fucking
official recorded session that a character already loses the humanity?
Woof. And attacking a touchstone, no less.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Holy
yeah.
shit. I was just
Would you
thinking.
expect anything else from me?
Well,
I don't think
I'm gonna think about the ramifications of that shit. I mean, essentially, it was basically like, yeah, if you had, I mean, we'll talk about this more, but it's like if you had pressed her on it more, she would have, you would have automatically lost that humanity. But it was still up in the air. But holy cow, everybody. Well, thanks for watching yegVMP. What the fuck? We'll see you guys all in our next session and find out exactly what's gonna happen. Take care.
Bye.